Angry guy here. And today we're discussing why password bros are hated by both men and women. So, guys, this is something that I wanted to touch on earlier, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart. It's so interesting. It's a very, very interesting thing. What's actually happening here? You have a lot of guys. You have a lot of guys who are struggling right now, and they're taking out their anger and their frustration on other men. And you have a lot of women who are struggling, and they're taking out their anger and their frustration on men as well. I should even say struggling. A lot of women are living in extraordinary amounts of privilege today. They were born with this privilege, and they want to hold on to it, just like tyrants want to hold on to power. They want to hold on to that privilege. I actually talked about this guy earlier, and many of you guys know Scott and Divine. They're absolutely lovely people. Now, Scott actually has a problem. He has a condition, an autoimmune disorder that causes him to be very skinny, to be very skinny like this. However, he has a lot of personality. He has a YouTube channel with his wife Divine, who is from the Philippines. He's known her for over 6 years, for over 5 years. He met her back in 2017. She actually messaged him. She thought that he was someone else, and what ended up happening was she messaged him on Facebook. She thought that he was someone else, but they ended up talking. And after a while, he went over to the Philippines. He met her, and it was just absolutely incredible. But there's so many people that attack these guys. I'm going to go ahead and play through a few videos, and we're going to talk a little bit more about why password bros are so hated by both men and women, because password bros right now are basically beating the game. The game is rigged, and the only way that everything doesn't crumble is if men keep playing the rigged game. All right. So let's go ahead and check out this video right here.
I'll be asking you a question. Are you ready?
Would be big.
All right. How much does you send
How much
to the
does
family of your wife?
Wait. How much does you send? Is that
You.
what send? It's not important. I have to take care of my family, so I'm not going to tell you how much I send or anything, right?
Okay. But you're sending something to my family?
Yeah, it's my family too.
Okay, there you go, guys. How long have you been all together?
Been together almost 6 years now.
6 years now. Okay. Are you married for real? Answer.
Yeah, pretty sure. She doesn't ever work.
Oh my god, I forgot my wedding ring. It's my I have a wedding ring.
There's a funny story about her wedding ring, actually. So it snowed here like a year ago or whatever, and then she went outside to go play in it because it was her first time seeing snow.
Yeah,
so
I lost it.
Yeah, she lost her mind.
Yeah, it got buried in the snow.
And then it fell off her finger and
luckily I still found it, so
after like 3 hours of searching in the cold. We found it.
So now I'm always paranoid every time I wear it because it's an heirloom. So I'm just taking care of it. Okay.
Wait, now I have to ask this.
I'm excited. Come on, hurry.
She's in it for the green card.
Do I look like I just want a green card?
Do you?
No. If it's just for a green card, I could have just, find it to someone else's without waiting
you're
for
spending a lot of time. Yeah,
6 years. I'm sorry. Years. Now it's running 7 years. So yeah, I'm in it for a green card. Good luck to me.
Why don't you and your husband match more?
What do you mean match more? What does she mean? Like match?
Like matchy, I guess.
Well, there's a saying, opposite attracts. That's why,
Yeah, and I like to wear my nerd fashion. So
probably we're always matchy. We will not be able to like each other.
Yeah.
Because that means it's not us anymore. Yeah.
Not only are you here for the green card, but apparently you're just digging in my pockets for my money at all periods of time.
Money. Give me your money.
the thing
Give me your
is
money.
what
Money, money, money.
what's mine is hers,
What
so-
money? We're married, so what's his is mine. What's mine is mine alone. No joke.
We share sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes. Oh my god. Okay.
Then a lot of people want to know how we met because they may have not seen like our other
Okay.
stuff.
So we met in 2017. I accidentally added him on Facebook. I was actually expecting for a
2016, babe. 2016.
like we met in person.
Oh, in person, yeah. You need to say that
In
context.
person, we met in person 2017. But I was actually the one who wrongfully sent you a message
On Facebook back in 2016.
and it started from there. We became friends first. Friends that did not even talk. Like we talked like after 3 months, like that, you know.
She was clearly
3
flirting with me,
months.
but I was like, duh.
What?
I was like,
Flirting? It's just friends, you know. I mean, I got that
I'm still
right.
still not complaining.
Call. I got the right man.
I know that a lot of people think that we just like to like go on like negative comments and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
but we enjoy seeing a lot of the positive.
We have a
comments.
lot of trolls, so we're just trolling them back, you know.
Yeah, it's just to get them back. So
Yeah, but yeah, we're not affected about it because we're just used to it. So we're doing good, guys. So we're just having fun, and like now we're starting vlogging because of you guys to get to know us more, the real us. So
yes. And if you guys have more questions,
shoot a message.
put them down there, and then we'll try to see if we can answer them kind of like this.
Yeah.
Fashion, so
Yeah, so we're gonna see you soon, but please subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook and Instagram.
I mean, guys, so you basically understand who they are now, and they actually were on like the Truly channel. They did like a little documentary on them, and these guys get trolled a lot. He has, like I said, he has an autoimmune condition, and because of his autoimmune condition, he's skinny. He has low energy, and this guy, people had no faith in even his doctor had no faith in him. Literally went over to the Philippines, met his wife, because his doctor told him you wouldn't be able to do this. You're not physically capable of doing this. All right. And not only did he go to the Philippines, he went to the Philippines. He went with her to various different places in the Philippines. They traveled. They saw different things. It was unbelievable. It's kind of like people telling you can't do things, and you believe them. You believe them, and you become stuck in a certain mental state, and that becomes your identity. It's like someone diagnoses you with a condition. You have autism, so you can't do anything. That's absolutely ridiculous. Some of the most brilliant people on this planet, all right, including guys like Nikola Tesla and a variety of others, were suspected. Many of the super geniuses were suspected to have autism. All right, to be on the spectrum. Many of the smart Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, literally talks about his autism. All right, he literally talks about his autism. So it's kind of ridiculous. Many of the people who change the world are the people who have disabilities. Stephen Hawking, the person who developed the concept of black holes. This guy spent the vast majority of his life in a wheelchair, unable to walk, talk, and barely communicate using only a voice box. And at the end of his life, he would basically control that voice box using movements in his face. So it would detect movements in his cheek or something, and he would use that to formulate sentences. And he lived like that for decades. And he conducted research, advanced research, from his wheelchair. You know what's interesting about Stephen Hawking? Before he passed away, he revealed what the greatest mystery to him always is, and he was actually condemned. And the greatest thing about it is that this is a guy in a wheelchair, and they wanted to cancel him, but they couldn't do anything. He said that the mystery that he could never solve is what is a woman's problem, because he still can't figure them out. Oh my god. Oh goodness gracious. Oh, and it's so crazy because the women's groups, they all came after him, and they were furious and and they could not do a thing about it. They couldn't do a thing about it because here he is, a guy in a wheelchair who can't move, and he's trolling them, and they can't stop him. And this guy was awesome. Many people with disabilities or differences, they turn out to really be special people. Even like look at Peter Dinklage. You guys may know him from know him from Game of Thrones or X-Men or a variety of other shows, and he's a small guy, but he's very powerful. He has a very powerful voice and a very commanding presence. And he's literally taken his size and turned it into a superpower. I mean, he's an alpha. He's like, he has very alpha traits. And it's crazy because, he said that his parents never allowed him to use to use his disability as a reason for why he could not achieve things in life. And he had to struggle. He had to pay rent. He had to figure out how to survive. And he was a guy this tall. He's a short guy, a very small guy, and he had to go out there and find a way to survive in this world when he could not physically do the same things a lot of other people could do. And he's one of the greatest actors right now. He's a part of the A-list. He is an A-list actor. And no one views him, for example, as a little person. Okay? He's not viewed that way. He's highly respected. He's one of the most distinguished actors in Hollywood. He's an A-list. And it's crazy because you have to think about this. A lot of these guys online will say, "Oh, he has a really hot wife. He has a really nice wife, and he could have even done better." Let's be realistic. His wife is pretty, but he could have even done better. This guy's a total alpha. Like, he was at an award show, and he had gum in his mouth, so he kissed his wife and had her take the gum. So he could walk on stage to go get his award. This guy's such an alpha move, such an alpha. And he has a kid. And the truth is, there are haters online who would hate on this guy. And his height is his superpower. All right? He is beloved by many. If he was a normal sized actor, he would not have the prestige that he has right now, more than likely. Because it gives him something unique. It's your differences, your rough edges that people are attracted to. This guy, Scott, that we're looking at, he's very funny. He's a cool dude. He's always making skits with his wife. And he knows how to relax and take things easy. There are people who criticize him. They say that, for example, his wife dresses way too revealing. And what she's out doing is she's trying to find other men. But here's the interesting thing. She actually dresses really conservative most of the time, or just normal, like most other people, when they're out and about, right? What actually ends up, the actual truth is that when they're making content online, like for Facebook, for Instagram, or even for YouTube, she might wear a revealing outfit, or she might post certain or revealing pictures. But guys, they're making money. They have over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. They have a large following. The way they're going, they're going to hit 1 million subscribers, and they keep on putting in the work. All right. And he's great at these skits. He's absolutely great at these skits. And you have people trolling him, trolling her. You have women attacking her, saying that her hair is not colored right, trying to find anything they can do to pick on her for. And they're saying, "Oh, she's only with you for the money. She's only with you for the green card because he has to be rich." This guy isn't rich. He's not rich. If she only wanted a green card, why would she wait so many years? They were they were together for like 4 years before they finally got married. 4 years? And the guy is not wealthy. And she could have left him and found a Chad. Here's the thing. You have to remember that Filipinas, they value family. And another thing that people don't comprehend is that American society is weird. You have to remember that in America, most women don't like most men, and not just in America, but in Western society as a whole. In Western society as a whole, most women do not like most men today. They 100% don't. They don't like you. They absolutely do not like you. Shout out to Captain Marvel. Hope you're still with us. Captain actually had commented a bit earlier. He says, "Hello, angry guy, and everyone else in the chat." And I want to shout out Cheese Socks fan for life. Notification squad. Guys, turn on notifications. Turn on notifications and set it to all so that you'll always get a notification whenever I put out a video. Okay? And let's see here. And also we have Dan's Mac Bray says hi angry. Shout out to Dan's. I mean, guys, anytime you're doing something and you're being successful in life, you are going to have haters. You have to understand, in the Western society, America, Australia, the United Kingdom, Canada, most women don't like most men. Most women do not like 95% of men in these countries. They find 95% of men as unattractive. 95%. These are guys that go to the gym and work out. A lot of these guys have muscles. A lot of these guys have high incomes. Some of these guys make $100,000 a year, 75, 100, some even $500,000 a year. Okay? And women don't find these men attractive. Some of these guys are like more than 6 feet, like 6'3". You have guys who are 6'3", in their 20s or early 30s, making over $100,000 a year, that work out and look like a light-skinned Kobe Bryant. And women don't want these guys. You have guys who are handsome, making really good money, exceptional amount of money, extremely tall, and women don't like these guys because it's so serious right now. It's so crazy that even guys who are chads are getting rejected. Even guys who are chads are getting rejected. You can't just be a Chad anymore. You have to be a Giga Chad. You have to be like Chad Ultimate now. All right? Like, it's that crazy. When you go overseas, you'll be shocked to discover that women in other countries find American men, Western men. It doesn't matter if you're black or you're white. You're exotic. You go to the Philippines and you're a black man or you're a white man. You have to understand something. You are exotic because in that country you have people who are brown, maybe brown, but you don't look like them. Your features are different. Okay? So you're exotic, just like when you see a woman from the Philippines and she looks exotic to you, or a woman from South America and she looks exotic to you. All right? Or even some of these Eastern European countries where there are various mixtures. And these women look exotic. You look exotic to these people because you go to the Philippines, they don't see a lot of people from other countries. They only see people who look exactly like them most of the time. So you look exotic. You are now attractive to them. This guy is he's not ugly. That's the thing. He's not ugly. The problem is America and American standards. All right. And even a lot of men, there's a lot of guys who are furious because they're seeing this guy with a beautiful woman and they're going, if they're saying to themselves, they're not even saying to themselves, they're saying out loud, they're going online and ranting. Well, if I'm way better looking than this guy, and if I could never get a girl like that, then he definitely should not be able to. Because he does not have anything that I don't have. Or if he does get her, then it means he has to be rich. Guys, people don't comprehend that Western society is a strange society. When you leave the United States or the UK or Canada or the other terrible Western society that you're currently residing in, and you go to other countries, You don't have men who are millionaires and walking around with these crazy amounts of money in these countries, and yet women are attracted to these men, to men in their countries. And a lot of these guys are not tall. They're not like the average guy in a lot of these countries is like 5'6", 5'7", maybe. It's crazy, right? And then when they see it, and they don't have the kind of wealth that American men have, that men from the UK have, that men from the Australia have, that men from Canada have. They don't have that kind of wealth that men from Western countries have. And yet they have beautiful wives. How is that possible? It's because the expectations of women in the United States are absolutely ridiculous. And another thing that you have to understand is that most women in America are not real. Their social media, what they look like on social media, is it's something completely different. Like, I mean, how often do you go on social media and you can see a black chick? I'm just going to use black women as an example. You can go on social media. You can see a black chick on social media. And if she takes off her makeup, her skin tone completely changes. When she puts on makeup, she goes from dark to light skin, just like that. From dark skin to when she puts on her makeup, she goes from dark skin to light skin. If that does not tell you, just give you an example of how insane and how crazy the makeup culture is in America today, I don't know what else will. Here, for example, black women, white women in America, they don't grow hair. They have trouble with hair. White girls, and it's not just in America, it's in the United Kingdom, it's in Canada, it's something with Western society. They can't grow hair. They can't grow hair. All these white girls out here flaunting on social media like, look, my real hair. Bro, you are wearing extensions. All right? You need to stop with it. You are wearing extensions. All right? Let me tell y'all right now, don't think that you see black girls wearing weave in America and you're like, oh, it's just black girls that can't grow hair. No. All the white girls are rocking their extensions too. All right? They get in an argument with another girl will snatch that hair out. Yes, they will. They'll snatch it right. They will snatch it out and hold it up in their hands. Like, look, I got your hair in my hands. All right? I got your hair right here. So you need to humble yourself. You need to humble yourself. You need to humble yourself. A lot of these women are out here with extensions. A lot of them are out here with extensions. Freeman says he's not ugly, maybe a little skinny. If he gained 10 kilograms, he will look healthier. It's a matter of weight. Yeah, and he has an autoimmune condition. The reason why he's that size is because he has an autoimmune condition. He's not ugly. He has a great smile. Check out this video. This is a happy couple. This is a happy couple. And you know what's crazy? You know what's really sad about all of this? When they succeed and when they're making their money, because they're making their money right now. They're making good money off social media. All right? And when they end up with over 1 million subscribers and they're famous and they're collaborating with all these brands, people are going to say that it's there are people who are going to say that it's his white privilege. The same people that called him ugly are the same people that are going to start saying things like, oh, it's white privilege, it's white male privilege, because what? Y'all were calling this man ugly just the other day. What's going on? The truth is that people don't want to work hard. This man with an illness, with an autoimmune disorder, went over to the Philippines, met this woman, stayed with her for 4 years. They stayed together for 4 years. She literally said, "You don't think I could have gotten a guy that had more money than him? Come on. You think that she had to get a guy with an autoimmune disorder? Come on." But she finds him attractive, and that's another thing that you all don't understand. He's not ugly. He has a lot of character. He wears really cool shirts. He has actually pretty nice hair. He's really a nice guy. And he's the kind of guy that most guys would want to be around, hang around. He's cool. He's a really cool dude. But the problem is that men are so divided today. Men are so focused on trying to get laid, on trying to get into a relationship. They're so busy on they're so busy watching their adult content and fapping on OnlyFans that they no longer have many close male friends. There's so much division amongst men. The same guys that are going after this guy, what are they doing with their lives? They're doing nothing. They're doing nothing. Nothing at all. This guy's money is growing. They moved into a brand new house. His money keeps on growing. He has a wife at home that's taking care of, that's holding down the house, cooking, cleaning, making it comfortable, giving him unlimited kisses. All right? Making sure that he is comfortable in his own home. She has crazy hygiene. After she poops, she washes her butt. That's part of Filipino culture. All right? And they're friends. They are great friends. This is not like their relation. And she's not afraid to say it. She's like, I married him for his money. She just said something. She just said it like something a moment ago where she said that his money is our money and my money is my money. Like, come on. These guys, they get along great. They get along great because they're honest. They're basically, she views him as a human being and she also finds him as attractive. You have to understand. When you go to these countries, you go to the Philippines, you go to Thailand, you go to Vietnam, these people, they look different. They have different facial features. They see a white guy that comes over there and he has like a straight nose and he has light skin and he has blonde hair. They find that as attractive. And they say, I would like for my children to have these features. I want y'all to think about something very carefully. If you took this guy and you switched his gender and it was a she instead of a he, and she covered herself up in makeup and put in her extensions, all right? Forget about the condition. There would be thousands of guys. Let me correct myself. Tens of thousands of guys. Maybe even, no, let me correct myself. No, I need to take a step back. Millions of guys that would want to get into a relationship with her. Oh, we just got a super. Zetapal dropped the super. Like I said, guys, if you drop a super, I will read your comment immediately. Oh, Zetapal says he's back. And thank you for the super, Zetapal. He says he's back and he's still angry. Oh, man. I will tell you, like, one of the reasons it's hard being on YouTube because you have to really kind of watch a lot of things that you say. You have to control the things you say. I mean, like, I even try to avoid even using expletives now. Even sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because YouTube is still it's just one of those platforms. So I still have to be very, be very careful. I was watching Jamie Kennedy's channel, and he was talking to this chick, and he basically said to her, we're all gonna. She said that, so she made a comment about Rumble, not wanting to be on Rumble, and he said we're all gonna end up on Rumble eventually. Like rumble.com, like all of us are gonna eventually end up on Rumble. Like YouTube, like he was like basically like YouTube is gonna purge all of us. Like we're all gonna be on Rumble eventually. And I was like literally here like crying, like I don't want to go to Rumble. I don't want to go to Rumble. Like I know people that used to be on YouTube and they're gone now. They're gone and they're on other platforms, and it's hard to keep in touch with their fan base. They're on all these different platforms, but they're only a fragment of them for their former selves. I mean, everyone wants to stay on YouTube, but it's hard. It's literally hard. Eventually a lot of your favorite content creators will be gone from YouTube. I don't want to go to Rumble. I'm being so honest. I don't want to go to Rumble. Sneeko, that's like Sneeko's on Rumble, like Fresh and Fit. Eventually, Fresh and Fit. They street like a lot of like these content creators now. Fresh and Fit. I think Just Pearly Things even is doing it. Like a lot of these Manosphere, Red Pill content creators. They stream on both Rumble and on YouTube, and they have their content on both at the same time because like they're basically preempting it. Like, yeah, like we're preparing for Rumble. We're preparing for the exile. But back on topic, guys. It's crazy. Like some of y'all don't seem to understand the amount of value that you have as men. It's like you don't comprehend, guys. You don't comprehend that when you live in a society where the women find 95% of the men as unattractive, and it's not because the men are not working hard, they're not developing themselves. It's not even solely because the women are now more educated and now more affluent. The average man makes $54,000 a year in the US. The average woman makes 46,000. And that's in the US. In New York, for example, the average man makes over $100,000 a year, while the average woman makes around $77,000. The average man makes like $102,000. So the average man in New York City, out earns the average woman by roughly $25,000. $25,000. And you have to understand that a woman making $77,000 will look down upon a man that's making $102,000 and say that he's a broke boy. All right? Because she's already getting her money. And the only kind of man that should be talking to her is a guy with millions of dollars. If you make there's a lot of women. Now look at a guy who makes $1 million and view him as a plan C guy. Plan C, not plan B. They will look at a guy who makes $1 million a year and view him as a plan C guy. And they will say he's a plan C guy, but I'm going to take this plan C guy because God brought him and God has told me that there's something about him. And we're going to work on this because that million, he's just starting with $1 million, but he's going to work his way up and he's going to get that LeBron James money. LeBron James is a billionaire now. He's going to get that LeBron James money. He's going to start because God's going to make it happen. He's making only $1 million now, but God's going to multiply that to 5 million, then 10 million, then 50 million, then 100 million, and then we're going to be the new LeBron. We're going to be the new LeBron and Savannah. We're going to get our bag. We're going to be the new Jay-Z and Beyonce, and we're going to be better than Jay-Z and better than Beyonce because God is going to make it happen for us because the power of Jesus is going to make it happen because Jesus came to me in a dream and Jesus spoke to me. And don't let nobody tell you that you cannot get what you want because God made this and God will mandate it because the power of Christ is with us and he can make anything happen. So don't you settle for no broke boy because God has that man out there for you. Praise Jesus. Guys, I know I just went off on my little tangent, but I've been thinking about doing the Sunday sermon for you guys. I'm telling y'all, if I do Sunday sermon where I go into my little bit, and do a Sunday sermon and and do a preaching like that, I expect. Let's listen to me. There will be deacons in the chat. There will be deacons in the chat. Okay, there will be moderators. There will be deacons in the chat. And the deacons will be coming around with the offering baskets, collecting offerings. Deacons coming around collecting offerings. If you want to leave a tithe, you can hit the join button. All right. If you want to leave a tithe, you can hit the join button. Come and get your Sunday sermon. The Church of Angry. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, let's look at some of the comments. Oh my gosh. I like this comment from Roger Spice. He says, a great couple. They really are a great couple. I really like these two. Dance McCrab says, that's awesome. Glad to see that guy happy. And I'm praying him and his girl last a lifetime. Let me explain something to you guys. Let's say their relationship does not last. Let's say that it only lasts 10 years. All right? Do y'all realize? Do y'all realize that that means that for 10 years, this guy had access to this beautiful woman who made his life that much better? Think about it very carefully, because people today, they expect things to last forever. Nothing lasts forever. She's never, you have to remember, she was never yours. It was just your turn. And that's how you have to treat relationships. If you find a woman that makes your life better for 10 years and provides you with cooking, cleaning, all right, hanky panky, and she, comfort, she makes the home comfortable for you, and you get 10 good years. If you get 10 good years out of a woman before she decides to go do her thing, that she decides that, there's something else out there for her, as long as you are smart enough when you got married to protect yourself, have a prenup in place, have something in place regarding how the children, how you will divide custody. For example, if you guys get a divorce, you will agree that there'll be shared custody, and both of you will remain the primary care guardian of the children. You can even say to her, well, listen, if we get a divorce, I expect to be the one that takes the kids. All right? Like, they'll live with me, but you will have visitation rights. And, and again, just be fair. And if she doesn't agree to these things, then she's not the one for you. But the truth is, you're right. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised, because, if these people, she's going to have to prove to you that she's not just planning. She's not going to take your kids. If you're fair and you give her a fair terms, like, if you don't try to be unfair to her and say, listen, if we get a divorce, you're never going to see your kids again. Because who's going to agree to that? You would never agree to that. Oh, we get a divorce. We've been together for 10 years. We get a divorce, and you've been working. You've been at home working for years, and I didn't want you to work, and I'm going to leave you with nothing. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. All right, you shouldn't do things like that. You have a prenup in place. And you can basically say, okay, if we're together for like 2 years and we get a divorce, you don't get anything. Like, I'll give you money to go back to the Philippines. That's basically it. Like, I'll pay for your trip back to the Philippines. Right? And if we have children, we're gonna share, like, we'll both share primary custody, but the kid is gonna stay with me. I will retain physical custody of the kid, right? And you'll have visitation, right? We'll share, and the kid will move between the two of us, but he'll live with me. And you can sort these things out. And you can basically say, if we're together for 5 years, I'll give you a certain amount of money. If we're together for 5 years and you don't work during those 5 years, so you can put stipulations on that. You're with me for 5 years and you do not work for 5 years, right? And again, you decided you can work with an attorney to craft something that's fair, because you also don't want to craft a prenup that's unfair. If you craft a horrible prenup, they'll throw that out in court. If you craft a prenup that's basically like, okay, I'm not going to give you anything, and if you make a terrible prenup that is so unfair, the judge will often throw that out. So you have to be realistic. Like, you don't want to. If you loved this person when you were with them, you're not just going to throw them out on the street. And by doing something like that, by being a responsible man and being a realistic person, when your relationship comes to an end, you don't have any anger or animosity. You don't have that anger or animosity, and you guys can go. You can go, she'll go her way, you go your way. And those years that you spent with her, those years that you spent with her, those will have been some of the best years of your life. And you will have gained so much from that relationship. You will have gained so much from the relationship and the time that you were with her. You will have gained a lot of utility from her versus being with a woman from Western society. You have to understand that so many guys, so many men today are, and I hate say putting it like this, but a lot of guys are weak. A lot of guys today are just so weak because they don't want risk. They only want rewards, but they don't want to take any risk at all. Like, don't get me wrong, you'd be crazy just to walk into a relationship today, where and get married in Western society, and what's happening, that you can have your life destroyed. But at the same time, to say that you want to take, you don't want to have any risk whatsoever. You want to you want to know for sure that that the marriage is going to be perfect. It's definitely going to work out. There's nothing, you're not going to lose anything. I mean, you have to remember, she's also investing something in the relationship. When you're marrying a Filipina, she has responsibilities. It's not like it's not like Western women, where, like, with this whole soft girl era thing, where they're looking for a man that's going to provide for them, provide for them so they can live easy lives. All right, where they can go to the spa, go to a $10,000 a day spa and chill, hang out with their friends, go and see their friends, during noon, when they are 1 o'clock or 2 p.m., when they roll out of bed and go have Starbucks with their friends. And then when their friends are going back to work, they're going to the salon, or they're going wherever they want to go and just living these easy lives. Like, that's sugar. That's glorified sugar baby stuff. All right. That's a glorified sugar baby. And you have to understand, like, if you want to avoid something like that. So you'd be crazy to go and get in a relationship with like your typical Western girl who's basically just out trying to get her bag. But if you find yourself a woman who has values from overseas, and she adds value and utility, she gives utility, then you're not gonna be angry giving her something, making sure that she's okay, because she's also the mother of your children, and you view her as a human being. Just because Western women in Western society don't view men as human beings does not mean that we should dehumanize others around in other countries. Just because women in America and Western society take advantage of men doesn't mean that men should go overseas and take advantage of women. Let me just make it very clear. Western women, Western society is a dying society. It is a society that is decaying, and it is a society that will eventually fade off. Let's look at some more comments. Look at some more comments. Daniel Reyes, shout out to Daniel Reyes. Shout out to Daniel Reyes. Daniel says, "Hey, comrade, me and this Eastern European beauty follow each other on Instagram, and we're always viewing and liking each other's posts. I'd love to sweep her off her feet someday." And there's nothing wrong with that. Get to know her. Because sometimes you don't even know who you're talking to. All right? You don't want to treat everyone like they're a bad person, but you also want to be mindful. You want to test a person. You want to find out who they are. You want to make sure that you're actually talking to a real person. So for example, you do a video chat. All right? And the thing is, if you live in Western society, and you're dealing with a person in the Philippines, or you're dealing with a person in Thailand or Eastern Europe, in a country where your money is worth like 10 times what their money is valued, you can literally hire a private detective or an attorney. You can hire someone in that country to do a background check. You can get this person's name and say, "Okay, what's your name?" Find out their full name. Find out their name. Ask them, where do you live? Get their details. If they're cagey about their personal details, then that's when you need to be worried. But if they give you their name, their phone number, they tell you what the city that they live in, hire a private eye. Their services. Hire a person, and get a background check run on them. Find out if they're a real person. Okay? Find out if they're a real person. You could there are websites, for example, like there are websites like Filipina, like Christian Filipina. I believe that's one of them. And let me see, I'll check for you guys. And Filipino Cupid. And on these sites, they have verification where they will literally the person you're speaking to literally has to go through a verification process, right? And they have to verify themselves. And they do this with like a government issued ID and other things. So they'll make sure that these people are at least who they say they are. And before you ever think of stepping foot over there, you're going to talk to them over video chat. You're going to talk to them over Skype. You're going to get to know them. Let them see what you look like, and you can see what they look like. Okay? And you're going to do this a couple of times. Not just one time, you're going to do this a couple of times, maybe for a couple of months, maybe even for a couple of years. But you're going to get to know them before you get involved with them. And even if you go over to the Philippines and you meet someone that you really like, you're going to test them. You have to learn how to test people, test them to see what they're about. All right. This guy, people are attacking him. He waited 4 years before he asked her to marry him. 4 years. He didn't marry her right away. This guy is a smart guy. He was not desperate like some of y'all. He wasn't desperate. He waited 4 years before he married her. He tested her. He made her wait. Think about that very, very carefully. Some people are unbelievable. But as a man, you have to know that you are the prize. You're the prize. Okay? The woman is not the prize. You're the prize. After you build yourself, after you develop yourself, you're the prize. And you don't need to chase these ridiculous amounts of wealth to be happy in life. Because there are a lot of these people who have lots of money, and the more money they have, the more problems they have. They're not living high quality lives. You have to create value for yourself. You have to create value. I will say this right now. There are a lot of men who have lots of money today, and because of how Western society has treated them, and because of the things that they've seen in Western society, they don't even want to have a relationship anymore. Like they're literally like, I have my money, and that's it, and I'm going to live with my money, and I'm going to expire with my money, and that's how I'm going to do it. That's really how I'm going to do it. And it's unfortunate, but that's you can't blame them. But you have to understand that you have to create a life worth living. And if you're afraid of taking risk in life, then you're going to be miserable. You're going to find yourself miserable throughout your entire life. If you are afraid to take risk in life, you will find yourself miserable in life. It's crazy because you have all these people who are afraid of living. And it's like, what are you going to say when in the last moments of your life, thank God I never did this. Thank God I never did that. Thank God I didn't take those risks, because now I'm going to pass away in safety. Like what? I have no scars on this body. I never learned how to ride a bike, which means I never fell off a bike, which means I never scuffed my knee, which means I have no scars on my knees. Okay? So when this body returns to the dirt, when this body returns to the earth, I'm giving it back to Mother Nature in not pristine condition, because I'm old now and I'm wrinkled. But again, I made it. I made it, and I have. It's like it's ridiculous. It's like so ridiculous, guys. There's so many people who never leave even their state. Like you can go to like Texas, you go to Texas, you can go to a lot of states, and especially like southern states. You can go to a lot of states, and there are people, little old people, who've been married for decades. Like they've been married for like 50 or 60 years, sometimes even more than that. And they've never left their home state. Like it's unbelievable. It's like shocking. Like they've never even left their home state. They've been living there for their entire lives. And it's like shocking, but then it shouldn't be that shocking. It should not be that shocking when you realize that a lot of people are afraid of change and they're afraid to take risk. So they want to play everything safe. And the truth is that you're not going to get anywhere in life if you constantly play things safe. Think about our ancestors. Think about our ancestors, all right? You know, for men who are Hispanic, your ancestors literally walked across ice, ice to get to North America and South America. They walked across sheets of ice when they were in an age when I think there were still woolly mammoths and the world was covered in snow and they had no idea where they were going. There were no maps. No one told them that you're gonna find lush green land over there. There was none of that. They were nomadic and they kept on moving and traveling. And they did this for generations, hundreds, maybe even thousands of years until they settled somewhere. If you are European, if you're of European descent, I want y'all to think about these people. Think about the Europeans who traveled to other regions, right? Other places before when they didn't know anything existed. You know, like the Vikings. The Vikings traveled from they traveled all over to Paris, to France, and to what is now the United Kingdom, and to all these other countries in these terrible boats. These people could not even read and write, most of them. And the system of math was very, very basic. And they were able to build boats and travel in these boats. Terrible, terrible boats. Sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months, maybe longer, to find something, to feed their families, to provide for themselves. And I'm not justifying everything they did, but think about the amount of risk that these people took going to places that they didn't even know. They didn't even know where they were going, and they had no idea if they would ever return. They had to literally navigate using the stars. Think about what men used to be like. And now many of us, we're afraid to even move to another city. Forget another state. We're afraid to move to even another city. And one of the biggest dangers with, listening to women, because a lot of men have become weak. Women are very, very modern women, they will act like they're masculine, but a lot of women have a lot of fear. And they will tell men, oh, don't take the risk. Don't do this. Don't do that. And so men don't take chances. And the only way that you're ever going to get anywhere in life is by taking chances. Do you know how many times I failed in my life? How much money I've lost in my life taking chances? But I've also made lots of money. The truth is that if you don't take the chance, you'll never learn anything. You will never learn anything and you will never gain anything. But so many guys today are so afraid. Oh gosh. Dan says, I'm not a content creator, but I've been watching YouTube since the early days. Have seen over 1,000 people I used to follow vanished by our beloved overlords. Deplatforming. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Like I said, I don't want to go to Rumble, but Zed Pal says I'm a Plan Z guy. All right, and I give Plan Z. I give Gen Z a hard time, but it's only because because they deserve it. But if you're but if you're a guy that's working hard and working on yourself, then I'll give you credit. I will give you credit. Cage says, amazing when a guy makes low money, she makes more than him, but for all those years he saves, she didn't, and she can't see he's not she can't see he's not valuable. Western, you are down, and he puts like he gives like a down figure. Boo. It's true. There's a lot of modern women today who make more money than guys. I used to have stories about this from guys, and they would talk about this. Like he would say, I'm like some guy would say, I make $50,000 a year, and I have an aunt that makes $150,000 a year, and when I tell her that I have like $200,000 in savings, she's always in shock, right? And that's a mistake. Never tell these women how much money you have. Don't you ever disclose your financials to these women. Don't tell them how much money you have. All right. All right. Like you go on a date with a woman and she says, like, oh, how much money do you have in savings? Like, oh, I'm a broke boy. I swear, I swear, be just straight up tell her, oh no, I'm a broke boy, but I'm just honest. I work hard and love Jesus. I am being real with you. I'm being real with you. How much money you have? I have $1. I have literally $1 in my savings account right now, and my checking account is overdrawn. Like literally, like I'm like so serious. I'm so serious, and like literally, you have to play with them like that. Like this none of their business. It is not. Do not tell women how much money you have, because you are setting yourself up. Don't be that guy, because that's one of the biggest problems. All so many guys today, they're playing these games that women are playing, and they're trying to like get money. Like, bro, she's only look after you for your money. She's only after you for your money, for your bag, so that she can get her bag. Oh boy. Roger Spices, happy 10 years for both of them, and no US ball in Jade. I like that. I like that. Emoji Mister says, preach angry. All you amazing single moms deserve a billionaire man in your life who is 6'8" bodybuilder, loves your kids. But in order for you to meet this man, you have to no donate at all. You money. I mean, listen, all these women that are out here saying that they want single moms that are like, oh, because there's a lot of single moms out here today thinking that they're supposed to get a billionaire. It's like crazy. Like there was this chick on the Fresh and Fit podcast who was crying. She was crying her eyes out, like, oh my goodness, I have a kid, and why is it that she's like, I don't know, she's like, we're not talking about broke boys, men making $100,000 a year. We're not talking about those broke boys. She literally said that. All right. She's like, I want a millionaire. And why wouldn't a millionaire, she's like, I'm a single mom, but why wouldn't a millionaire want to be with me? Because if you're a millionaire, then you should be able to take care of a child. And Fresh had to like correct her, and he said, listen, what's something that wealthy men have? And he said, options. So why would a wealthy man get a woman who has baggage, a woman that has that's on OnlyFans? Okay, so like every man has seen all her goodies. A woman that has a child, all right? So that child is not his child. That's not his child. And even if he were to get into a relationship with her, and he were to develop a relationship with that kid, let's say they split, he has literally no rights in the relationship. He has no rights to that child. So she could take that child away from him, and he can't say it. He can't fight for custody. He can't do anything whatsoever. So why would a man get involved in something? Involved in something like that? And this girl started to cry. She started to cry. Because like a lot of these women, they don't live in reality. It's because of these guys who are constantly DMing them on Instagram and telling them how beautiful they are and all this other nonsense that have jazzed up their heads, that caused them to believe that their self-worth is much greater than it really is. I'm just being honest with you. Dan says that prenups are becoming worthless. Family court judges are increasingly starting to ignore them. Contract law is a thing of the past. I mean, it's becoming more difficult. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to go down that route, have a prenup in place. Make sure the prenup is fair. All right. Have a prenup in place. Make sure it's fair. Have a custody agreement in place. Make sure it's fair, and then roll with it. Don't create a terrible prenup. Like there's some guys who go and create horrible prenups. Like Michael Strahan, he created a terrible prenup. His prenup was so bad that he literally had to beg the court to have it thrown out, while his wife was demanding that they honor the prenup. This guy had a terrible prenup made. I don't know what attorney drafted that prenup. So you could end up. So you want to create a prenup that puts you in the winning situation, but you also don't want to. You also don't want to disenfranchise the woman that you were with. Let's continue reading some of these comments. Oh. Daniel Reyes says, "Awesome insight, comrade. You're the freaking best." Let me continue going. Dan says, "I've heard a lot of Philippines expats say not to try meeting Philippine women online. Wait till you get there. 100%. You'll find way better in person and weed out scammers." And that's another great piece of advice. Okay. But at the same time, you need to understand that even when you go there, even when you go to the Philippines, that doesn't mean that a scammer isn't waiting for you in the Philippines. All right. You have to know what you're doing. Once you get to the Philippines, you have to test these women. You need to do your research and find out who they are. Because some of these women could be married. Okay. You have to just because you're in the Philippines and you meet a woman in the Philippines does not mean you should become complacent over there and fools. Because a lot of guys go over there and they end up coming back with no money and demoralized because they were being foolish, because they were not using common sense. They were not using their heads. All right. You have to test these women. There's a comment from Emoji Mister. He says, "The government hates men with money they can't tax." They absolutely do, which is another reason why you guys need to get on your crypto game. For those of you that have not, I have a crypto academy, and it's up and running. I'm going to start advertising again for you guys soon, so you can start taking some crypto courses over there, learn about crypto, invest so that you can protect your assets. And you can also make money using crypto, because everybody should be in the crypto game right now. Everyone should at least have a foot in the crypto game. And and the most valuable thing that you can have in crypto is knowledge. Knowledge is the most valuable thing, because that's how you're going to get rich in crypto. Not simply by buying up a million different crap coins, but by having knowledge of how the game works, of where to buy, how the technology works, and by doing that, that's how you're going to be able to take advantage of the situation whenever the markets begin spiking, or when new technology and innovations come along in crypto, like NFTs and DeFi. Let's read this comment from Mr. Emoji. Let's read this comment. Mr. Emoji says, "Women don't live in reality. Don't live in reality. They live in her-ality. The world revolves around her. She's the main character. Everyone else are extras in her movie, and she calls that life." It's true. It's absolutely true. That's how women are in Western society. In other countries, you have to understand, they don't have welfare. They don't have public assistance. They don't have these programs. They don't have Section 8. All right. Disability. If you qualify for disability, you're not getting a lot of money. Like, you get like a tiny bit of money every single month, which is barely enough to pay rent and pay for housing costs and buy food. So it's not nice. And that's one of the reasons why women in these countries will never become the way that it is in Western society, unless unless they somehow become westernized cultures, because the government isn't handing out free money to everyone. You know, the government isn't a sugar daddy, and women can't live off the government. They can't turn. They have to. Women in these societies still have to face accountability for the decisions that they make. If they go and they have a child with a guy who's a piece of crap, they're going to find repercussions for that. They're going to face the consequences for that, because they're going to be left with children they can't take care of. If they try to go to the court system, these guys barely make any money to begin with. That's even if there's a good court system in place to hold these guys accountable. And the courts have to take into consideration that these guys have to be able to provide for themselves. So if you have guys that are making the equivalent of $10 a day in these countries, and the court decides that, okay, well, we're just going to take that $10 away and give it to the mother, then they're giving the guy all the incentive in the world to just stop working. Okay? And you have to remember that a lot of people in these countries, a lot of these guys, they don't even put the money in the bank. They'll just drink it out. Because a lot of them get paid in cash. So they'll just take that money. They won't put it in the bank. They'll just drink it out. They'll have fun with it. And what are you going to do? Throw them in jail? All right, give them free food, give them free housing. All right? It's different in other countries. They cannot do the things to men in other countries that they can do to Western men. So it's different. And women have to face consequences. If they'll end up homeless. They will end up homeless over there. Zetapal says, you're right. It's partly our fault. For decades, men have been telling women how wonderful they are. How wonderful they are just to get in their pants. Think of all the songs on the radio extolling the virtues of womanhood. It's true. You're special just the way you are. I can't sing for nothing. I've been, I was a choir boy, and I don't even think I was very good back then. But I mean, like, think about this, like LL Cool J talk about, I'll give it to you, I'll give it to you however you like it. I'll buy you everything that you want. I'll give you everything, baby. I'll give you this, I'll give you that. I'll give you a shirt off my back. Here, take my chain, take my drawers, take it all. I'll give it to you. I'll give you whatever if you just give me a time of day. Like, these guys, this is like OG simp culture. That's OG simp culture, begging and pleading these women for a relationship, and then you're shocked when these women think that they are goddesses and begin taking advantage of men. Like, that's what, like these guys from the 90s, they started priming things up for modern day. Like, you have to check these women, because like back in the 80s, you literally had songs like, what can you do for, like, what can you, like, ain't nothing up but the rent. Like, something like, ain't nothing up but the rent. Like, there was a song like that. What can you do for me? What can you do for me? Like, what the heck? What the heck? Daniel says, yes, sir. I would definitely join your crypto space. I'm investing in Shiba, I believe that's Shiba Inu, Ethereum, Bitcoin. So learning more about other coins would be useful. Oh boy. Legacy says, angry guy, formerly known as AM, has been on fire lately. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love this comment. From Chi Sox fan for life. He says, Super Saiyan simping. Super Saiyan simping. I love that. I love that. NGU Emperor says, crypto is a good investment to have, and knowing about it puts you at the top of your game. I'd love to hear you talk about that sometime in the future. Yeah, I mean, like, that's something I used to do a lot of. I have my crypto academy, and I'll be sharing links to the academy so you guys can go and check out the courses on the academy. I also have a Passport Bro Academy for you guys that's going to be giving you tons of information on traveling, making money while you're overseas, protecting yourself so that you can have, like, you can actually pull this off. So yeah, I actually have a Passport Bro Academy for you guys that I'm working on. I've been like just putting in the work. I'll be honest, it's like so much work because it's very comprehensive. It covers so much, like not everything from like how to getting to the Philippines, finding protecting yourself, everything, what kind of work you can do while you're an expatriate, so that you can make some money while you're overseas, like everything that you can do. So I like, yeah, it's really, how to protect yourself from being taken advantage of in the Philippines. I'm working on that for you guys. I need to work a little bit faster, but that's something that's in the works for you guys. And once I'm done with that, I'll make it available for you so that you can check that out. Daniel says, "We'll definitely follow your academies." Thanks a lot, bro. I mean, guys, it's Legacy says fire. I mean, guys, it's really about putting in the work. It's about putting in the work. It's about knowing that you have the value. It's about knowing that no one is that's something no one can take away from you, and getting away from this, this culture of being an orbiter for women, because so many guys are orbiting them. Women know, in other countries, women know that men are the prize. Women know that men are the prize. And that's why this, the moment you step foot in another country, one of these countries, you have women that are just literally walking up to you and tell you that they want you to marry, they want to get married. And it's not literally just because she wants to go and get her bag, but she knows that, you are going to provide, that you're going to be a guy who will provide for her, you will protect her. She looks at you and she sees your facial features, you look exotic to her. So if she has a baby with you, then in her country, people are going to look at her kids, and her kids are going to be like, people are going to say, wow, oh, you have special kids. Your kids are exotic. Look how beautiful their hair is. Look how beautiful their skin color is. Look at the shape of their noses. Okay. I'll tell you something that's very, very interesting. Japan is a country that, that where there's a lot of compliance, where there's a lot of uniformity. And even in Japan, there were stories going back maybe even like 20 years or more of Japanese women who would deliberately go and find foreign men to have children with, because they wanted their children to look different. They did not want to have typical looking Japanese children. They wanted children that looked different. You heard me. That looked different. They wanted exotic children. And there are a lot of women that will do this. There are women who will literally go and find a man from another country, and they know that the man is not even going to stick around. The man's not even going to be there for them, and they don't even care, because they just want a man that's going to have children with them, that's going to give them children that are going to be different. Let me just look at this. Okay. NGU Emperor says, let me read that comment. Consequences are kryptonite to women, but just like Superman, they're immune when exposed to it in long periods. They get away with too much crap, and many people just look the other way. You're absolutely right, brother. You are 100% right about that. Emoji Mister says, think about it. Marriage is so dangerous in the West. You need insurance and to have her sign waivers and contracts before you can elope. It's crazy. Like it's crazy in Western society. I don't recommend marriage for anyone in Western society, but I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying that you cannot find a good woman in Western society, but I'm saying that there's just too much danger. There's just too much danger. And there's a lot of women who will play you. Like they will play you. Like they'll be the perfect girlfriend. And then the moment you get married, she's like, gotcha. All right. She's like, oh, you remember all that good nookie you were getting? Yeah, that's done. That's done, player. You're done. You're done. All right. All of that fun time is over. I got you. All right. And all that food, all that good food I was cooking for you. Yeah, I'm done with that too. All right. You're gonna be getting cold sandwiches from now on. And that's if you're lucky. Otherwise, get it yourself. because I got you. All right. A lot of men have to face that reality. A lot of women will trick you. They'll switch it up on you in the Western society because it's not a part of their culture. It's not a part of their culture, and they'll show you what you want to see until they trap you. And then once they've trapped you, they've got you, and there's nothing you could do about it. Ugh. Emoji Mister says angry. How do the native men feel about Western men taking their women? I'm curious to know. It's actually quite interesting. Most of these men just really don't care because they don't view it. They when they see Westerners coming to their society and marrying women in their society, many of them view it as a compliment. They're because you have to think about it. You don't have. It's not like you have millions of men that are rushing over to Cambodia to marry these women. But in reality, what it's saying to these men over there is that we like your people, we like your women, and if we like your women, then we like you by extension because we accept you. Think about it very carefully. If men from America and other Western societies are going to the Philippines and they're marrying Filipinas, then what ultimately ends up happening is it creates acceptance. All right, it creates acceptance for people from these countries because you have to remember that people in these countries, they often view Americans as wealthy. They view them as prosperous. They view them as, like, almost like celebrities. They view them almost like celebrities. So when you go over to their country and you treat them like people, you treat them like human beings, and you're interested in their women, they think, oh, that's good for us. And then you also have to remember that that means that foreigners are bringing foreign dollars to their country. So the foreign men that move to these countries, they're bringing money to these countries, and they're creating new economies, and they're strengthening the economy in these countries. So they're creating opportunities for these men that live in these countries to make money. It's true. A lot of these men, they literally rely on, a lot of these countries literally rely on money from foreigners. They rely on foreigners coming to these countries and bringing their dollars from their countries and spending it there, and helping to contribute to that local economy. And there's a lot of these guys who literally make their money off foreigners, from like, providing services to these foreigners and so forth. And again, the money that foreigners bring, it strengthens not just the local economy, but also the national economy. So they really don't view it as men taking their women. You have to understand that there's a lot of stupidity in America and Western societies where you have men who are like, these are our women. These are like America, like, she's never yours. It's amazing where in America women behave a certain way. Like they don't even like most men. And then you've got guys who are like so aggressive, like, these women are ours. Like, these are our white women. These are our black women. Like, what? She's not even yours, bro. She's for the streets. Like, what are you talking about, bro? What? She's for the streets, bro. She's for the streets. And it's like there's a sense of ownership where every guy is like so desperate in America to like own a woman, and in other countries, like, men aren't like that. Like, men are like, oh, you want to go? Okay, I don't chase you. I won't chase you. I'll replace you. Like, that's how a lot of men are in a lot of other countries. I'm not saying that they're not men who are jealous, but a lot of men in other countries, like, they'll let women know, like, I'll replace you. And women are well aware of that. And when they meet a man that will stick with them, it's very different. It's a very different thing. Now, keep in mind, you know, it's not the woman so much as it is the culture. And that's why it becomes problematic when you bring some women back to America or Western societies, because the culture can influence them and the culture can change them. Because the culture is toxic. That's not to say that you can't have a wife and bring her back to the United States or to the United Kingdom, but you have to really get to know the person, and you have to understand, you have to assume risk. So you have to understand that there's always a chance that she will change on you. But you have to also remember that she has her own culture. And for example, single being a single mother in her culture is not something that is that's seen as positive. You know, like if she wants to take that route, then it's then she's definitely setting herself up, because her own people, they're not going to be pleased with her. They're gonna look at her side-eyed like, oh wait, you left your husband. What, you left your husband because you want to be a boss babe, or because there's something better for you out there, and you think you're gonna go find another man? No. I actually have someone who's gonna be joining me on podcasts. I have a Filipina who's gonna be joining me on some podcasts, hopefully. Been working on it for a couple of months now. And she's gonna be joining, co-hosting on my podcast, and she's gonna be able to answer a lot of these questions for you. I won't tell you which Filipina it is, but yeah, so that's something I've been working on in the background. I also have another guy that actually lives overseas. He's been a password bro for almost 30 years. Hasn't been back to I think he's from the United States. Hasn't been back to the United States in almost 30 years, and he's been living a damn good life overseas. And he talks, for white guys that feel demoralized, and don't get me wrong, I talk to the brothers, I talk to the black guys, but for white guys that feel demoralized, he's like, he'll let you know that they love white guys over there. Like, they love white guys, like, over there. He lives in Thailand, and they love white guys in Thailand. So, like, and I try to, like, get that through to a lot of white guys that feel like people, like, what, women don't want them, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you even doing this to yourself, dude? You're like a rock star overseas. You're seeing like a hot you're like you seem like you look like a hot exotic animal over there. Like, in America, like, there's a lot of hatred, a lot of and there's a lot of outright demoralization of white males in America. And uh, and a lot of white guys don't realize, like, they're like, oh, I'm just a white guy, because that's how you treat, like, you're not, they don't even treat you like a person. Oh yeah, I'm just a white guy, bro. Overseas, you're not just a white guy. You are the man over there. Like, you're exotic, you're sexy. All right, you're like a hot exotic animal. Like, look at you with that blonde hair and those blue sexy eyes, or those lovely brown eyes, And look at that red hair. They don't have red hair. They don't have that over there, bro. They don't have. Look at are the shape of your nose a straight nose. They don't have those features. Okay, so you go over there. You're a rock star, man. You're a rock star. And again, there's a lot of opportunities for black guys as well, but I'm talking about white guys right now. I'm just letting y'all know there's so much going on for all men. There's so much life. And I told y'all what's going to really end up happening is it's going to be like American Idol International Edition, or where they're going to be competing for American men in every country of the world. Like, like, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. All right, you're gonna have women in Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe. That's all I'm gonna name right now. They're all gonna be competing. You gotta have women over in Slovenia, and all these other crap countries in Europe, and you got women in Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, Thailand. I mean, Laos, and I mean, there's so many, all competing, and don't forget South America. Oh no, Brazil is representing Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is coming in hard. All right, these women are fighting hard because they're gonna get themselves a man. They're gonna get themselves an international man. All right. Y'all gonna see even little Haiti. You'll see women in little Haiti, little Haiti, like Haiti can't even help itself right now. I have women in Haiti trying to put up a little fight. All right. Even little Haiti's gonna try to put up a fight. It's gonna be a fight for American men, for Western men, not just American men. It's gonna be a fight for Western men from America, from the United States, from Canada, from Australia, from the UK, and other Western countries. It's gonna be a fight. They're gonna be out here fighting for these men, competing for these men all over the world. That's really what's gonna happen. We're gonna see, guys. It's a massive collapse right now. That's why the whole sugar baby, soft girl era. Because, guys, you see how my brain associated it? I told y'all, soft girl is just soft girl is just a glorified sugar baby, and sugar baby is just a glorified prostitute. And glorified prostitute is just a glorified hooker, all right? And hooker is just a glorified bed wench. I mean, come on, guys. These women, these women are just selling themselves. All right, they're just trying to sell. They're just trying to sell themselves. You sell Pookie, Pookie, sell Whoopi, and try to get their bag off that. They don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, but they want everything. Like, you must be out of your damn minds. And a lot of these girls, they're like former OnlyFans models. Like, they were on OnlyFans and they were making their money on OnlyFans, and then that fell apart, and now they can't rebuild. And they don't even feel like doing OnlyFans anymore because they want a man that's just going to take care of them. And they've had plenty of fun. And here's the thing: the fun never really ends, because when they marry these men, they're still going to be out there in the streets with Chad and Tyrone. Because while this man is out working and making money to take care of them, they're still going to be out in the streets spending this man's money on another man to go feed Tyrone. All right, taking this one. Can you imagine? Some of y'all must be out your damn mind. Some of y'all must be out your damn mind to go pick up an American woman, to even think about picking up an American woman. Some of y'all high income dudes must be out of your damn mind to go think about doing something like this, so this woman could go take your money to go buy Tyrone a PlayStation 5. You must be about your minds. You must be out of your minds. Her taking your money to go buy this man a PlayStation 5. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I've gotten older, guys. I have, I had started wearing glasses, but now I have to like wear them a lot because I can't see very well. I shouldn't say that. So this is the craziest thing. I have astigmatism, and I went and got my eyes checked again for a couple of months ago. My eyes are much weaker than they've been, but I have 20/20 vision, but I cannot read. I cannot read without my glasses. I can't read without glasses. I have to wear them pretty much all the time now just to see. But I'm just telling y'all, because some of y'all are blinder than I am. Some of y'all can't see. I have trouble reading, but a lot of y'all can't read still can't read the writing on the wall, because y'all gonna go out there and get yourself a woman. One of these sugar babies that's gonna take your money and use your money to go and buy Tyrone or Chad or Brad a PlayStation 5. Oh my goodness. And every time she sees him, she has a brand new game for him. She has a card for him. All right? She has a $70 card for him. $70 prepaid card for him. Like, oh, here, I have this for you. Here you go. That's a new game for you. What you want? The new Spider-Man just came out. I got this for you. Don't worry about the money. This idiot is here paying for it anyway. Because, you think he doesn't know about you? He knows all about you. All right? Chad, Brad, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, Chadrone. They know all about you. She's told them all about you. Mm-hmm. In fact, they start even making demands like, the PlayStation 5 was nice. The PlayStation 5 was nice, but I would really like a Steam Deck too. I there's no reason. I don't want the cheap one, because the screen is not, there's a certain kind of glare to it. I want the more expensive one. Okay, that has the anti-glare screen and 512 built-in internal storage. 512 gigabytes of internal storage. Because the read speed on these SD cards, and I'm not about that life. I want the one with the good internal storage and the anti-glare screen, and that comes with the case, because I'm worth it. I know my value, and she's sure as hell gonna get him that damn Steam Deck. She's gonna get him that damn Steam Deck, and she's gonna get him a couple of Valve cards because he needs his games too. I'm telling y'all, when Tyrone is hungry, he's gonna eat. When he's hungry, he's gonna eat. When he's thirsty, he's gonna drink. When he wants some loving, he's gonna get some loving. While she won't cook for you, while she won't clean for you, while she won't feed you, while she doesn't even want to give you a kiss, she is running, taking off her heels to get to this man, to serve him, because that's the one that she loves. That's the one that she loves. Using your money to take care of this man. And at some point you find out about this man and you go and you challenge her and she lets you know this is how it's going to be, partner. This is my man over here. And if you are secure in yourself as a man, then you won't have any problem with him. You think I'm joking? This is the relationship with Destiny right now. His wife is an OnlyFans model. And she literally has relationships with other men in front of him as he watches them do it. And she literally has said that men who are insecure have those are the guys who have a problem if their wives have high body counts, if their wives have relationships with other men. You are an insecure man if you don't allow your wife, will not allow your wife to go and be with other men. And even watch the way Destiny does. Can you imagine this? Destiny is there sitting in the corner and watching while his wife is with another man, and she's there like, and Destiny is just sitting there, like just watching quietly in the corner. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Emoji Mister says, soft girl era is paid for by credit cards with 30% interest that they think some billionaires going to come into their lives and pay off their debt. They can't be serious. They really, a lot of these women come in years, guys, when they're I'm telling y'all, they're going to have all this debt. Because, like, you look at their apartments and they have all this expensive furniture. And, like, as grown-ass men, we're like, listen, I can't afford this kind of furniture. You know, like, if I buy furniture, I'll go to the thrift shop. I'll get something from the thrift shop. But I'm not spending $3,000 on a dining room table and $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 on a bed. And what the heck is this woman doing? $10,000 couch? Like, bro, how much money do you even make? Like, how much money do you even make, sis? Sis, you barely make $60,000 a year, and you have $100,000 worth of junk in this apartment. Something doesn't add up. All of that is on credit. It's all on credit. Okay? She's literally there, can't pay her bills. Talking about men making $120,000 a year are broke boys. Yeah, they're broke boys because they can't pay off all your student loans. They can't pay off all your debt. Because she expects to get into a relationship with a man who comes in like a white knight, Prince Charming, and wipes out all her credit card debt immediately, wipes out her student loan debt immediately, and puts her in a castle because she's not living in some poor man's neighborhood in some little cheap $1 million house in Queens. No. She's living in Manhattan and she's living uptown and all right. And you need to be able to afford that $10 million penthouse. And that needs to be just one of the properties that you own. Get the heck out of here. Get the heck out of here. Calvin, I love this comment from Calvin. He said, you are the sucker that paid his rent last month. You paid Chad's rent. You paid Chad's rent, bro. You paid his rent. You paid his cell phone bill. You paid Tyrone's rent. You paid his cell phone bill. You've been buying him food for the entire month. You don't even realize you've been buying him food for the entire month. You've been buying him food for the entire month. You bought him a PlayStation 5. Been buying him games. You don't even have a PlayStation 5. You don't even have a PlayStation 5. You want a PlayStation 5, but you don't have one. And you don't even have time to play one if you did have one. and you don't even realize you bought him a PlayStation 5. And not only does he have PlayStation 5, he has PlayStation 5, he has Xbox, even though no one plays Xbox. Yeah, I love throwing shade at you Xbox fanboys. Nobody plays Xbox. Nobody plays Xbox Series, either of them, Series X, Series S. All right, nobody plays that. But he has Xbox, he has Nintendo Switch, he has Steam Deck, he has a fat gaming PC setup. You bought all of them that for him. All right. I mean, you really. Bro, you the man. You're the man. You really set this man up. You really set this man up. Like you a real one. Oh my gosh. We look at this comment. Calvin says, McDonald's for dinner and pork your get your leftovers from root shirt. You see here. Yashan Zion says the sugar baby bubble is bursting. It really is. It really like a lot like this whole thing. People don't even realize it. A lot of them are gonna end up in FEMA. Zeta Zintendo, I guess like Nintendo. Man, I love Nintendo. Says women are very lovely overseas, and having conversations with these women better than American girls. They yell too much. Women overseas are mild mannered. They have femininity. That's something that you just can't get in America in Western society because it doesn't exist anymore. Look at this one. I love this. I love this comment. Guys, right now, and I hate using the word I've worked so hard to remove it from my vocabulary. But anyway, I'm trying to remember the celebrity who's divorcing right now. There's a celebrity who's currently divorcing. Oh, I know who it is. Oh gosh, she's on America. Sofia Vergara, I think that's her name. She was on Modern Family, and she's a judge on America's Got Talent now. Sofia Vergara, I think that's her name. Her husband filed for divorce from her recently, and she's worth like $50 or $100 million. And she's asking the courts to honor their prenup and to give him nothing in alimony, no alimony, no division of assets, nothing for his time in the marriage. And they were married for like years, I think, which is shocking because I can't believe that much time has passed. But like they were married for like a couple of years, and she's asking that he get nothing, right? And this really reflects the comment that Nguni Emperor has left. He says, "Yes, they trap you. You ever wonder why women would never marry a guy without a prenup? Why rich women would never marry a guy without a prenup, especially if they're single mothers, because they don't want no random man taking their child's legacy." Think about that carefully. Because a lot of guys, unfortunately, they see a woman, they're like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. I want her. I want to be with her. And they're willing to throw away their lives and everything else and their futures. All right. I mean, like, don't be that guy. Let me see this one from another comment from Nguni. He says, text green game over. That's the state of dating now. Dealing with the high body count, the Tyrones of the world, and the 10 babies. It's not only hard, but the game is over. It's time to log out. And Arnold Hernandez says, It's Arnold. You're right. I'm dating a Ukrainian woman, beautiful redhead, blue eyes. In the morning, she feeds her animals, cuts wood, makes breakfast and lunch, red and makes lunch, bread and half hours shifts. She's very happy. So he's with a beautiful Ukrainian woman. I've actually met some Ukrainian women, absolutely gorgeous. I met a gorgeous Ukrainian woman years ago, and it's something. It's like they still have their femininity, and the thing is, they can work hard because like you have women who are absolutely beautiful in these countries, And then these are like the same women that go out and milk a cow and do chores, like do farm chores. And you're like, what? And then like the women in the Western society can't even measure up to these women. They do farm chores and like take care of like the house, cook, clean, do all of these things, and they don't complain about it, and they are grateful just to have a man that's going to help them, that's going to help take care of them, because like they realize that life is hard and that nothing is free. The problem is that a lot of women, they live life on easy mode. In Western societies, women live life on easy mode. In other countries, women know that, without a good man, you basically have nothing. And there's like so many examples. There's so many examples right now where women in other countries, like they're basically they're suffering. Like they had children and the man walked out and he went and had children with another woman and he left them, and now they're just absolutely miserable. They're alone, they're miserable, and they have nothing. And I want you guys to think about that. I want you guys to literally think about that. By the way, guys, I'm using this brand new microphone. I love it's a condenser microphone. It's so pretty. It's like changing colors. I love this mic. All right, let me know. And I have a boom arm. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I want to know if you like the the audio, if it's bad compared to my other videos, if it's been a huge improvement. I want your just want to get your feedback on that. I want to get your feedback on that, because I've I have that working, and then I also have something running in the background to remove any background noise. So I want your opinion if like the audio has been drastically removed. I want to definitely give a shout if it has, then definitely I want to give a shout out to an editor who actually and I'll mention him in another video. He's an engineer, an audio engineer, and he basically was like, listen, bro, if you're gonna do this, you need to go and get this specific microphone and so forth. And he basically inspired me to go and upgrade my setup a little bit. So he's one of the reasons why like the audio would have improved. Yeah, doing what says that condenser mics are good if you're in the right room. Yeah, let me know though, like let me know if the audio is a lot better, if you're feeling it, if it's compared to like the earlier videos, my previous videos, because I think that it has improved a lot, but I want to know your thoughts on that. Okay, guys. All right. Zeta Nintendo says, one of my buddies told me after he went overseas was women that don't live in the cities of these countries are some of the best options because they aren't city girls. Is that true, Angry? Yes, it's absolutely true. It is 100% true. So, for example, I've lived in different countries. I've traveled. I lived in Mexico for a while, and I will tell you this: you have to think about this very carefully. Mexico is right next to the United States, so the women in Mexico are very, very modern. They're very American. They're basically like American women. If you want to get a woman in Mexico, for example, you have to go to like one of those rural villages, like a place like Sinaloa, like Sinaloa or Guerrero or or Michoacan and places like this. Like you're not good. Don't go to somewhere like Tijuana and think that you're gonna find your wife in Tijuana. Okay, don't think that you're gonna go to Hong Kong and find your wife in Hong Kong. Those of you that know what Hong Kong is know what I'm talking about. Don't think you're gonna go to TJ and find your wife in Hong Kong. You have to, like, when you go to these, and you see it's like that even in, let's say, China, for example. You're like, and there's a video from a Chinese comedian, and she basically says that if you want a wife in China, you have to go to like the rural villages. You have to go to like the outskirts. You have to go to stay out of the cities, because if you go to like the cities, when it comes to Chinese women in the cities, the way that they're like literally like, how much money you make? What kind of car you drive? Oh gosh. Yeah, it's like you want women, the best women the best kinds of women, truthfully, they're gonna come from those places. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. The city girls are not the girls that you want to mess with, because city girls are fast girls. Okay, they are fast girls, and they're just looking to get their bag. If you want girls who still have their morals intact, that still have their femininity intact, a lot of the times you're gonna find those women in rural places, villages, and the country. You can find such wonderful and humble women in the country. In these kind, it's not like and it's not like they're they're poor, or or that they're ignorant. I mean, sometimes they may be a little, when you say ignorant, not they just don't know certain things, but they're more pure, and they don't have these crazy body counts like city girls have, because it's like it's 100% true, 100% true. you know So I mean, that's definitely something for you guys to consider. I have another video. Let's go ahead and check this video out, because I did put this video up. So let's go ahead and jump into this video.
Welcome back to our channel. It's me, Divine, and my husband, Scott. And today we're going to talk about the process that we did for my visa to come over here in the United States.
Shout out to all the single guys that keep asking.
Yeah, because we've been like reading comments about how we did it, what's the process, how long did it take. So we're just going to answer those questions, right?
So let's go over, how did he bag her? All right, so first, just a little disclosure. Everything that we did through an immigration lawyer.
Yeah.
Because the visa process is very complex, and it will save you a lot of time.
Yeah. So we hired a lawyer, and we paid how much?
I think I paid her about $1,000 for the first series of things that she had to do. But once again, she'll tell you everything that you need, or whomever. It'll be much more streamlined than you having to do it all yourself.
Yeah. So the lawyer just prepared every documents that we had to do and fill out. She sent this to us, and then we just do our information and send it back. And then the lawyer was the one who actually sent it to the NBC.
She had us fill out the form, the I-129F, which is for the K-1 visa.
Yeah.
Once we got everything all compiled together, she sent it off to the NBC.
And from there, we actually waited. We just waited. I could not remember anymore the exact time frame, but I think it's more or less like 4 to 6 months. And then I received something from my country about the process. From there,
basically just word that it was received from the NBC to the embassy in the Philippines.
The embassy in the Philippines was the one who scheduled me for the medical, and then the interview, right?
Yeah, all the really excruciating details.
So you just really have to wait and pray, because it will come. But yeah, that's how we did it. So we didn't do it ourselves.
Our experience with it, though, was a little bit different than others. We waited 4.5 years to get ours completed.
Yeah. We were expecting it to be like the fastest route, but we were wrong, because my case got expired actually after 3.5 years from the time that we filed it.
Yeah, they like literally forgot about your case.
Yeah. And then when it got expired, that's the time that they finally responded. I'm talking about the embassy. They responded to me when the case got expired and told me that, yeah, you're all set.
And after our lawyer went and busted down their email box like I don't know how many times.
Yeah, so we were kind of losing hope at that time already, because I mean, we did not hear anything from them.
In between 6 visits of going to see her, and yeah, like the 2.5 years after that, like we're just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah, that's why you spent more money for your 6 trips to the Philippines.
There was a little moth fluttering out of my wallet after that point.
Yeah, I mean, it was very difficult actually, but hey, we made it.
Yeah, it was all worth it at at the end. Most likely, your process is not going to be the same as ours.
Yeah.
So definitely don't go into it thinking that.
Yeah, it's a case-to-case basis.
Yes,
so
definitely.
yeah, it's because I traveled in different countries. The interviewer, like the consulate, actually focused on that, like what I did in other countries, like how long I stayed there and stuff like that.
Her interviewer thought she was sus.
Probably he thought I was just like hunting for jobs or something like that in different countries with a different visa. So yeah, that actually like made my
made her case go
process.
longer. Yeah.
Oh, way longer.
Or else she probably would have just been here for like a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
So if your significant other potentially has gone and traveled many countries around the Asian area, be prepared.
Yeah, the consulate needs as much like information. Straight answer as well, not just like lengthy answers.
It's going to be stressful, we'll just put it that way, but if you can make it through it, then you're home free, you know?
Yeah.
The thing that you have to remember is that patience is definitely a key with this process, because it does not happen overnight. You're going to be waiting for a while, and it will be pretty cost-worthy.
It is.
But once again, I mean, it's worth it, so you can get the one that you love over finally,
Yeah, I mean, you have actually an option to do it if you want the spousal visa versus the fiancé visa. For the spousal, you have to get married.
Get married in the country.
In the country of your significant other.
If I was to go marry her first, then I would have been able to just go ahead and file, and she would come straight over within a year or so, and she would already have her work done and everything. It is what it is.
Yeah, because when I got here, since I was in a K1 visa, I still waited for over.
So you got 90 days. 90 days to complete everything.
Yeah. So
get it all done.
We got married and then just did all of the paperwork when we got here. So it was still complicated, but thank God we made it.
Not to mention COVID was going on.
Yeah.
So everything was a very complicated mess, but we made it.
We made it. Yeah.
If you have any questions or you want to know any more information on things, feel free to leave comments and let us know, and then we will be more than happy to give you more details on in terms of cost or whatever. If you need anything else, we're going to go ahead and put the link to where you get all the information in the description as well, so that'll be there for you guys.
Leave us a comment down below, and we'll be happy to answer it for you guys. Alright guys, so we're gonna end this video. We'll see you in our next one.
See you guys next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Oh, and thank you so much guys. We got our, what do you call this? Plaque?
Yeah, a while back we got 100,000 and got our plaque finally.
I mean, I honestly like them. I think that they're a great couple, and I hope that they last. But I want you guys to think about this very carefully. If this, like I said, even if this guy gets 10 years of utility out of her, he's won. He's won. If he it's like some of you guys are like, oh my gosh, we broke up. I broke up with my wife. I lost my wife. I told you it was, bro. Nothing is, guys. She's never yours. It was just your turn. If you meet a woman, a nice woman, and she takes care, she cooks and cleans for you, has your kids, and she gives you 10 years of happiness before she goes crazy and decides that there's something else out there for her. Be grateful, be happy. As long as you took precautions, some precautions to separate your assets, to make sure that there was always, that's why you should get into crypto, to make sure that you have assets that no one can touch and that no one else, and that she doesn't know about. As long as you took your precautions, then you get 10 years out of a woman. You shouldn't really be complaining. You should be grateful, and then you can move on to someone else. There's so many guys out there right now that have married Filipinas and married to multiple Filipinas and keep on marrying more Filipinas. The reason why is because they understand, they understand. Some of these women, they married them, and they got 10 great years with her, and then she decided that she wanted to go her way and live like an American woman, and they let her be because they got their value out of her. They got their utility out of her. They took their precautions beforehand. They were smart about it. She went on her way. They had their children. They have their children with her, and they get to see their kids, and that's it. And they went and they found themselves another Filipina, and they started the process all over again. And they took what they learned from the first relationship, and they've applied it. Because there's so many of you guys that are so scared. Like, you don't want to take any risk, and you don't want to take any losses. You don't want any scars. Life is about it's about scars. Now, if you want to just, chill and count and stack your dollars and, stay at home and live a simple life, and you can live that life, then more power to you. But if you know that you want to be in a relationship with someone, understand that in life, everything comes with risk, and you basically do the best you can while preparing for the worst case scenario. And that's how you can avoid worrying. There's a book that was written by a guy named Dale Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And basically what you have to do is you have to accept the very possible worst outcome and then work towards the best outcome. So you accept the absolute worst that can happen and you work towards the best outcome. And you will find that very often when you do that, when you apply the concept of prior proper planning prevents poor performance, and you work towards the very best outcome, and you do your very best, okay? You give it the very best that you can, but you accept the worst. You will find that most of the time, you have a much better outcome than you expected. It's only when we want the best outcome, best possible outcome, but we are afraid of preparing for the worst. We're constantly expecting the worst while demanding the best. And instead, the truth is that where we would end up being happy is somewhere in between. And that's just life. That's really just life. Okay. Jared Mesa says, been following you since 2017, bro. Shout out, bro. Thank you for being a longtime subscriber to me. I love seeing you guys. Every so often I run into you guys that have been with me since like 2014 and I'm like 20, like going back like wicked number of years. 2017 even. That's absolutely incredible. 6 years. Like that's, thank you so much for being with me for so long and following me for so long. You're like up there with Dr. MGTOW. Like, thank you. I don't even know how long Dr. MGTOW has following me. But these people, like, you just know certain people. And it's sad because I've lost some people over the way. There was one of my subscribers, and he became a good friend of mine. He passed away, and I haven't talked about it. I might do like a memorial for him, but I don't know. It is what it is. But I'm just grateful to like you guys that have stuck with me for so long and supported me for so many years, and coming back, you're still with me. It's just absolutely awesome. And now this channel has over 17,000 subscribers, which is crazy. And I couldn't be more grateful for all of them. Let's see here. Let's read some more comments. Arnold says, on people asking me why overseas women, they only want to get a visa. Maya Crew woman is a doctor and has a visa. At the end of the day, like I said, it comes down to risk. And you have to make a decision what you actually want. But to like approach every situation like, oh, every woman's looking for a visa, you have to remember that these women have a different culture, and single motherhood is something that's frowned upon in their culture. The foundation of a Filipina's life is her family. So the idea of leaving her husband to go to the streets, that's heavily frowned upon. And, while she can get away with that in America, she can't get away with that in the Philippines. Philippines is a very religious country. Like, you can go to jail for cheating. Like, if you cheat, like the minimum sentence is like a month or 3 months in jail. Like, you get thrown in jail. If you're caught committing adultery in the Philippines, they throw you in jail. There's something that I learned from learned pretty recently. right? Like you don't want to do that. Like it's a whole different ball game. Like for example, like OF OnlyFans, you can't do that in the Philippines. You can't do that in the Philippines. You cannot have an OF in the Philippines. They'll arrest you. All right? Creating adult content in the Philippines, you'll end up in jail. You will end up in jail if you try that in the Philippines. All right? Let me see. Oh, Doing says, I remember the Sandy Man song. I remember the Sandy Man song. Guys, I used to sing a song. I used to sing a song, the Sandy Man song. All right. I don't know. I don't know. Like for those of you, I don't know if you like for my subscribers that followed me long ago. I used to have a song called the Sandy Man song. If I get a nice donation, I might sing the song for you. If someone drops a nice donation, I might sing the Sandy Man song for you. All right, I might sing it for you, but that's a maybe. That's like a that's like a maybe. I'm really, I'm really enjoying streaming. I'm really enjoying streaming, and I've been like sitting, and it's like you can always like I always do something like, okay, well, you know what, I can just leave and come back again and stream and set up another stream. But you know what? Thankfully, like I'm using streaming this great streaming software. I use StreamYard. I love using StreamYard, and it's paid. I pay for it now, and I'm able to like do all these really great things very quickly without having to actually end the stream. So I can say like, okay, guys, I'm gonna like step away for like a few minutes to go take a pee, and and uh, and then I'll be right back, and like I can just like set up the software to do these things easily for me. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. Here's what I'm gonna do. I will be back in a few minutes. I'll be back in a few minutes, and I think like how long should I take, guys? Like should I take 5 minutes or should I take 10 minutes? I think 5 minutes is good. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna step away for like 5 minutes and go take an angry guy is gonna take an angry pee, and you guys can do the same thing. And what I actually did, this is so cool. What I did was I actually set something up so that you can have a countdown timer on the on the on the I'll be right back page. Okay, so hopefully that works. I did check it out, and it seems like it was working. So hopefully that's able to work if I can get it work if I can get this damn thing up and going, because I did I'm trying to like trying to find like the right words. I did create it, but what I'm doing right now is I'm actually uploading it for you guys. So I don't know, like hopefully that works, but I don't know. It's like it's up. Okay, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm gonna put this on here. I'll put it on there, and I'll be back in 5 minutes, and I'll have the countdown timer, and it should count down 5 minutes. So in exactly 5 minutes, I'll just jump back on, and you guys, if you want to go grab something from the fridge, you want to go pee, because some of you have been like sitting here all this time, then you can go do that while we're on break. All right. So I will be back in 5 minutes, guys. Alrighty, guys. So I am back. Hope you're hearing me all right. I really needed more like 10 minutes, and I had a 10-minute timer, and I had this idea that I was just gonna go and take my quick pee, and everything was gonna be okay. But sometimes you go and you realize that you need to. It's gonna take you more than 5 minutes. But yeah, that's live and learn, and then do better next time. Oh my gosh. What's really cool about this microphone is that not only I can actually just tap the top of it and mute it, it's so like the features on this mic are so like you don't even get these features on some mics that are even way more expensive. So I'm like so impressed with this microphone. But yeah, I mean, guys, when it comes down to it, a lot of guys today are suffering so much. A lot of guys are struggling so much, struggling with all sorts of things, and the reason why the reason why they're struggling is because they don't want to happiness. Happiness. It's not about really necessarily being happy in life. I mean, we talk about the pursuit of happiness. It's about being content. And when you can look at your life and say, I'm truly content with my life. I am content with what I've obtained, with what I've achieved. I am content. I accept that, and that's it. When you can be content, because a lot of people, they're in the fight for happiness. They're never content. They're never ever content, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that so many guys. It's unfortunate so many guys, they go through that because, they never learn how to embrace, being humble. They never embrace that humility, you know, the joy of being content, the joy of being content with what you have. Because guys, because it's like you just want more and more and more. People always want more. They're never happy with what they have. And you guys just let me know in the chat if you're hearing me all right. Just let me know if you're hearing me all right in the chat, because yesterday was crazy. Yesterday was crazy. I was talking and like for like a while, and no one was hearing me. No one was hearing me. Like no one was hearing me. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna ask you guys, are you hearing me in the chat? Like, are you hearing me? All right, I'm gonna ask in the chat, like, are you guys hearing me? Like, let me know if you're hearing me. Because it's crazy, guys. It's crazy how much some guys suffer in life because, oh, Dr. MGTOW says yes. Thank you for confirming that. Dr. MGTOW's been with me for so long. Like, Dr. MGTOW, how long have you been with Parabiology 101 says, yes, we can hear you. Thank you. You guys have to let me know, because then I don't know whether or not I want to make sure that I'm not muted and or there's no distortion. I have a 500, it's so hard. I have a 500 megabit internet connection, and that's one of the things that kind of sucks, worries me about going to the Philippines. Because like you go to the Philippines, and the Philippines is not known for having great internet connections, and that's something that's hard. Even like living in Mexico, like you did not have the fastest internet connections. Like to have like a 50 megabit internet connection was a luxury over there. And then I come back to the United States, and people have like 1 terabyte, like 1 gigabit internet connections, and like up to like 8 gigabits right now. You can get up to like an 8 gigabit internet connection, but like a 1 gigabit internet connection is not odd here. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, right now I have 500 megabits, but I get around 300 megabits over Wi-Fi. And it's like 10 years ago, the idea of having like a connection this fast would just be absolutely insane. So that's like one of the luxuries you don't get in like a lot of other countries. You go to the Philippines, you're gonna say goodbye to your fast internet connection. I was always suffering, like trying to stream when I was overseas, like depending on where you are. Like China has some faster internet connections, but China's a very developed country these days, and Japan also has some good internet connections. I've thought about this before, like going over to the Philippines, meeting a Filipina, and then taking her to Japan with me, because I've always wanted to live in Japan. I've had so many Japanese. Oh my gosh, I've had so many Japanese friends. My Japanese friends have literally stayed at my apartment. I literally went to college with so many Japanese people, but but I've never stepped foot in Japan, unfortunately. And I've thought about going and like, staying there for quite a while. And but it's like I'm really, it's a hard one because I don't want to give up my fast internet connection. That's one of the hard things about the Philippines, is going to the Philippines and not having that fast internet connection. Dr. MGTOW, how long have you been with me? How long have you been with me, Dr. MGTOW? Because I know you've been with me. You've been with me for years. The fact when I know who you are, that tells you. When I know who you are, like that tells you. That tells you. Like Dr. MGTOW has been calling me Shark Man for like years. Like we go back to I think go back to like 2019. This guy's like Shark Man. Like what? Like I still find old messages of this guy calling me Shark Man. I don't even remember where the Shark Man thing came from. Oh gosh. Let me read some of these comments. Let me read some of these comments. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. All right. So this one comment right here is from Parabiology. He said, I actually found an amazing Filipina online through DIA. I don't know why I thought, I don't even know why I looked at it and I thought DUI. He's through DIA. What and who I've now been with for 4 years. I'm a good-looking white guy though, and weeded through hundreds of them before I found this one. Guys, you gotta do your work. This is one of the big problems. That's why a lot of black guys are getting, getting having their lives destroyed in the Philippines because they're not being smart. Like it's like you live in America, and you would never ever take those kinds of chances with an American woman, and then you're going over to the Philippines. You're going over to the Philippines, and you're doing this kind of stuff. You're doing this kind of stuff in the Philippines. You're taking these kinds of risk in the Philippines. Like, are you crazy? You're not doing your due diligence. You're just basically going over there and hooking up with any Filipino. Come on, like literally, this guy said that he waited through hundreds of them, hundreds. Like you have to, like I said that. I said, like, you need to have background checks done on these women. You need to know who you're dealing with. You need to get to know them, know who their family is, like make sure that they're real, and then get to know their personality, screen, like learn how to test women, learn how to test them, learn how to screen them, and don't marry them right away. Like, do not do that. All right. And for some of you guys, I don't even recommend marriage. The truth is, all of you don't have to get married. You don't have to marry these women. No one has to go and marry these women. All right. You can find a woman and let her know that marriage is not going to be a thing. You don't want to get married, but you want a relationship. All right. And you can form a relationship, and you can have your cake and eat it too. You do not have to marry anything. You can have a woman, and you can have a woman in the Philippines, a woman in Thailand, a woman in Cambodia, a woman in Vietnam, a woman in Laos. You can have a woman in all over. You have women in all over, all over, all over, all over Asia. All over Southeast Asia. You can have a woman all over Southeast Asia, like a woman in every single country, or multiple women in every single country. And then not only that, and then you can have women in South America. Really, I'm just being honest with you. And then you go and see a woman and see her whenever you want to see her. A lot of passport bros are realizing that right now, like they have the value, and if people want them, if they want that value, they're gonna have to earn that value. I'm just being honest with you. Let me know if I'm loud enough, like if my voice is loud enough for you guys in the chat. It's so cool using a microphone like this. For many years, like many people will remember going back to my early videos, like the very earliest videos I made, the audio was crap. And at some point I just kind of accepted it, and I was like, well, you know what? The audio is crap, and a part of my videos is the crap audio. And I just let it go. I let it go. Oh gosh. Uh Johnny Jean says Sims can't be quiet. They really can't. They really can't, bro. They really can't. They need to shut up, but they really can't. Like this, like these guys, like they're gonna get it at some point. Like I'm telling y'all, like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. I'm telling y'all right now, like they're gonna get it. Johnny Jean says, I can't understand why women are still mad at passport bros. It's not that hard to understand, bro. I mean, look at what they did to the black community. They destroyed the women in that community. They destroyed that community, and they destroyed their men. I mean, when you talk to a lot of these young guys, that find a way out of the community, are struggling to get out of the community. When you talk to them, what do they say to you? They tell you basically, like, if they're decent, they'll let you know, like, it's hard because the only thing they've ever been encouraged to do from their mamas and people around them is to either become a rapper, all right, an athlete, preferably an NBA player if they're tall enough, but preferably an athlete, all right, become a rapper, an athlete, or or basically go or basically start working on the streets and making their money off the streets. Like it's like literally you have these mothers, these women in these communities, and you've got these black men like, you know what, mom, I think I want to go and learn a trade. And she's like, no, 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 listen to me. Don't get into that trade university foolishness. All right. Look at all these idiots out here with the student loan debt. Listen to me. You need to go work on your mixtape. All right. You know you have talent. Listen, Jamal, you know you have talent. You know you have talent. All right. Go work on your mixtape. Pick up that basketball and work on your jump shot. All right. Or work on your jump shot. And your uncle, he's gonna come visit, and he said he has some work for you. All right. He has some work on the streets for you. All right. But leave that book learning nonsense alone. That's for white people. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But that's really how it is. These people have done so much damage to that community. And they want to keep these men trapped in a cycle of poverty and a cycle of self-doubt. So you have to understand, they're furious, especially black women. They're furious. They're furious seeing men leave these communities. They're furious seeing men going overseas, because without these men, they have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. You see, a lot of these black women, they run around. It's not just black women, white women do it too. But a lot of these black women, they run around with these guys, and then they decide that they want a man, a decent black guy to come to nerdy. Like they want a guy like, what's his name? Michael Jordan. What's his name? Michael Jordan, the famous one. The famous Michael Jordan, the movie star. Let me see what's his name. Because he uses an initial. Michael B. Jordan. I just remembered. Michael B. Jordan. If you said it in the chat for me, thanks. But I just remembered. Michael B. Jordan. You have a lot of these women, like, they called Michael B. Jordan corny in high school, and they bullied his ass, and now they're out here like trying to they're out here trying to act like they're his friend. Like, he was like a corny black guy in high school, and they were terrible to him. And now they're acting like, oh, hey, how you doing, Michael? Like that's the reason, like, because they want to turn around and they want to use these men later on. They want to use these men. They want to take advantage of these men. It's true. It's true. So when they see these guys going overseas, because they use guys like Michael B. Jordan as orbiters. They use them as over. They try to use these guys to pay their bills and take care of things for them, and phone bill, rent, all that other nonsense. They keep a bunch of, and they rotate out of orbiters. And it's not just black women who do it, but I'm just letting you know how it is. Like they women, mothers, they don't raise fathers. Fathers raise their sons to be self-aware. Fathers raise their daughters to be self-aware, to know that men are looking for looking to hook up with them, and they'll tell their daughter straight up, like, listen, girl, listen, baby, when I was in my teens, I was just trying to hit it. All right, daddy was a dog. Like, men will sit down with a guy will sit down with his daughter and say, listen, sweetie, I was a dog. I was a dog. I don't want you out there in the streets with these dogs like me. Daddy was a dog. All right? Daddy was a dog. I don't want you out the streets. I don't want these dogs messing with you. I know what I am, and I don't want that for you. I'm not going to let that happen. A man will sit down and speak to his daughter like this and be real about who he is and about what male nature is like and what men are like. And it's not all men, but a lot of guys are just looking to hit it. But then a mother will not sit down with her son, and she will not tell her son, sweetie, mommy was a 304. Mommy even trapped your daddy. These are the tricks that I use. This is how we trap men. These are the games that we play. Women don't do that. They don't tell their sons about female nature. They don't sit their sons down the way that men sit down their daughters and warn their daughters about men. Women don't sit their sons down and warn their sons about women, because it means they would have to take responsibility and own up to the types of manipulative behavior that they themselves utilize to trap, disenfranchise, and even harm other men. And they're not going to do it because they're always going to put themselves on a pedestal and make themselves look better than they really are. So what women are really doing is they're preparing their sons, and for a lot, and it's changing. There's some women that are coming out and speaking out now. But what a lot of women have done, what most women have done for generations now, is that they've raised their sons to be servants, to become indentured servants for women in society. So basically, he's transferred from his mother to his wife, and then she uses him for wealth and resources. So they're not raising men to be alphas, they're raising men to be betas. And they know it. They absolutely know it. Now, there are a few mothers, like older millennial mothers, Gen X mothers, that are beginning to come out and let these young let these women know that they're not going to come out here and they're not going to do these things to their sons. All right? They're not going to do that. One of the reasons is because these mothers realize that their sons are going to be out there spending their money on these women. Because a lot of these young men can't even make money. A lot of these Gen Zers, they don't have no damn money in their pockets. Where the hell are you getting money at 18, 19 years old? You get that money from your mama. A lot of these 25-year-olds, even 30-year-olds, are living off mom's money. All right? And you going to take her money to go spend it on one of these women? Get out of here. Get out of here. So these women are beginning to realize that if they don't step in, these women are going to destroy their sons, and then they're going to destroy them indirectly, because they're going to have to be the ones to go and deal with all this crap. Go bail him out of jail, visit him in jail, all this nonsense. So now they're having to step in. But like the boomers, no, they didn't warn their sons. And a lot of modern day women are still playing that nonsense. Oh boy. Oh, Dr. Big Tao says, I'll put you up on screen, bro. He said, I started watching you as angry as AM back in 2017. 6 years ago. So you've been with me since 2017. You're the very first one to red pill me and made me go MGTOW. Aww. Oh, you remember? I used to talk about MGTOW sharks. So he says many years ago, you were calling others MGTOW guys, MGTOW sharks. Ha ha ha. That I remember the MGTOW shark thing. Yeah, so I guess that's where you got shark mad from. Okay. Let me see here. In Slayer Clone says, it's been a while. Never thought I would hear your voice again. I guess time moves on for everyone. Man, I never thought you would hear my voice again either. I tell you, I've went through so many things the last couple of years. 2020 was a crazy year for everyone, and a lot of people were affected by that year. And I was definitely one of them. I definitely took my licks. Like everyone else, but thankfully I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm well, and I've been getting better and better, and I'm able to be here now and make content for you guys again. And and my content is even better than it was years ago, I personally think, because I've upgraded my equipment. I've learned a lot of new things. I've added new software, and I've learned how to use the software I was using in different ways. So as men, we have to learn. That's the thing about being a passport bro and a man walking away. Like if you want something, you're gonna read the book. You're gonna put in the work so that you can have the life that you want. You're gonna do the extra work. Parabiology says your voice is quite loud. Okay, well, let me know. You said it's quite loud, but in terms of, is it a good loud or is it too loud? Let me know what you think in the chat. If it's is it good loud or is it too loud? Because I literally have the microphone really close to my mouth right now, which is pretty cool. I actually absolutely love it. But let me know if it's too loud or it's just like a good loud. And the thing is, it's funny because I raise my voice sometimes, but then I lower it. I have to breathe sometimes because like I just keep talking and talking, and then my throat gets a little bit sore. Guys, it's do you guys remember like some of you might remember years ago, I would do these long streams. Like I could literally do like I do like I think I've done like there was like about a legendary 8 hours. I don't know if it's six or I think it was 8 hours stream. My legendary 8 hour stream. Like I streamed for like literally 8 hours, which was absolutely insane. There's some guys who like stream for like 3 hours on here, and that's great. I used to do long streams, but like I did like there was like a legendary 8 hour stream, and that was something. Oh, Parabiology says that it's a good loud, very clear, no hiss at all. I'm very glad about that. I'm so I'm so glad about that. I hope that there's no choppiness because like right now my I'm having like a little strange thing happening on my with my laptop because like the screen's my charger's being so kind of being stupid. But yeah, I'm glad that like the audio is good for you guys. If it goes in and out a little bit, it's not because of the microphone. I don't think it's because my computer's being a little funny. Uh, Parabiology says, "Do you watch Undead Chronic? I think you'd like him." Me and Undead Chronic actually we're not the best of friends. So like I've criticized him in the past, and when I started the channel, when I started this brand new channel, Undead Chronic literally messaged me when I had like 50 or 100 subscribers, and he said that he said something along the lines of, you know, he said something along the lines of like, I was just gonna put you on blast, but I think it'd be more interesting to have you on stream. Because last time I was on one of his streams, he literally had me on there, and then he just started talking crap to me, and then like had me removed from the stream. Like it was really messed up. And then he hit me up as soon as I started this channel, saying that he wanted to have me on a stream for another debate. And I basically told him, and he said that he was gonna like, go after me. And I basically told him that I was eating some chocolate chip cookies and listening to some good music, and he could do him. And he basically told me good luck. Yeah, I was definitely not playing into his trap. I've listened to his content. He makes some good points. There are some excellent points that Undead Chronic makes. I don't dislike him as a person. My biggest problem with Undead Chronic and some of the other content creators is that I think that they're kind of irresponsible because they're out getting their bag, they're out getting their money. But some of the guys that listen to them, like these guys are very, I don't want to use that word on the stream, but I'll type it in the chat. I'll type the word in the chat. A lot of those guys are a part of another type of community. I just type the word in the chat for those of you that don't know, and like it's on the screen, you know. And I like those guys can get kind of crazy sometimes. And I feel like like a lot of these guys are like lords for these people, and they're not responsible because some of these guys are very impressionable, and if you're not careful, these guys will go out and do stupid things. So I think you have to be responsible when you know that you're dealing with some guys. I mean, like dealing with guys that are not right. And some of you guys to say, well, listen, I'm not someone's father. What another man does. Yeah, but you're dealing with some guys who are not so mentally stable. Like it's cool when I was making content for just MGTOWs, but then you had a lot of these guys that were they were coming in, and I feel empathy for these guys, but at the same time, like you guys watch the news, and some of these guys have done some pretty nasty things. And I just feel like guys like Undead Chronic can be a little bit irresponsible, not acknowledging like you've got these types of guys listening, and you're making content, and sometimes the content can get a little bit extreme. You have to be mindful of this, that you have these types of people listening that might take your words too literal, and they might go out and do something stupid. So as I've become older, I've become more mindful as well, that my voice does carry weight, and that it does influence others, and I have to be responsible with that. Even if I'm not telling someone to do something, I have to understand that there are people that are stupid, and they will they'll go out and do stupid things. So I try to be a little bit more realistic, a little bit more responsible with the things that I say. Let me see here. Tu- 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 he said undead chronic makes a big deal on white women dating black men. I used to make a big deal. I used to talk about it a lot, and it's like a lot of people took things the wrong way. Like they were saying, like, oh, like you're talking about the ills, like you're, and it's not. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think that I don't think I think that every man should find the woman that connects with them. I don't think ethnicity matters, but I do. The biggest problem, I don't see anything wrong with white women dating black men or Hispanic men or any man that they choose to date. What I do find the problem with is Tyrone. Tyrone. Let me tell y'all something. Tyrone has been a he has Tyrone has been creating problems, havoc, and misery in the black community since at least the 1960s. Since at least the 1960s, Tyrone has been creating problems in the black community since at least the 1960s. And now white women are up and about and running around with Tyrone. And that is a problem. That's something I do talk about that. I do talk about that. Like a lot of these white girls, like, what? I don't know. Like, this is just terrible. It is just terrible, 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 terrible. I'm not talking about, like, a black guy that's working hard, getting, making his money, doing his thing, living his life, work, building something for himself. But Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, I don't respect them. I don't respect them. You must be kidding me. These guys, these guys are, man. I can't even say what I want to say on stream. Can't even say what I want to say on stream. Oh my goodness. Got upset for a minute. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Let's read what else. See what else you guys are saying. And Parabiology said the Chow Time Pod is a good password bro channel, very neutral to race. He's Cambodian himself. Roger Spice says Tyrone is nothing but trouble. Listen to me, Tyrone. Like, when I talk about Tyrone, y'all have to understand. Black people should be the most furious about Tyrone. Tyrone has helped to ruin their communities. All right, he's still running rampant. He's the reason. Him and the women are the reasons why the communities are in this condition. Black men should be furious. Black men are furious about Tyrone. Tyrone has been tormenting their communities and destabilizing their communities for decades. That's the reason why they leave their communities and they go and find women in other places of other races. Like, if someone says, "Oh, I hate seeing a black guy with a white woman," then you're a racist. But if you say, "I can't stand seeing these women with these Tyrones," that's not racist. That's realist. All right. It doesn't matter if he's with a black woman, a white woman, Tyrone is a menace to society. Tyrone is a menace to society and every community that he infects. Absolutely terrible. And he knows it. Him and the Sunshine Gang, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, and don't forget about Chadrone, because he's still a Roan. He might be a handsome Tyrone, but he's still a Tyrone. All right? He's just a mix. He's just a hybrid. Chadrone. He has the good looks of a Chad, but he's still a Tyrone. I tell you guys. We've been going for it's so crazy. We've been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes. What a long stream. This has been it's been a long stream, 2 hours and 45 minutes. I've been streaming for you guys. I mean, guys, do you enjoy this? Are you enjoying these longer streams? I'm thinking now that I have a good setup for you guys, a good microphone for you guys. and I'm able to like filter out any background noise, so now you have good audio. And I mean, I'm planning to do this every night. I'm trying to figure out what time is good for you guys to do these streams. I'm thinking 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm thinking that might be the sweet spot for you guys, because by that time most of you guys should be home from work. Although it's like it's hard. I could do 8 p.m. or I could do 9 p.m. I like the idea of doing 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific time, because that gives me some time for myself later on. And it's hard because I don't know how long these streams are gonna go. Because like the yesterday's stream went for roughly 2 hours. Today's stream is almost 3 hours long, and it's like once I start, it's hard to stop. It's like okay, I'm enjoying this too much. I'm enjoying the stream too much. I'm enjoying talking to you guys too much and getting back into the into the mix of it. Let's go ahead and look at this video a little bit. This is actually from Scott and Divine. I showed a little of this yesterday, and it basically shows pretty much how they got into their relationship, you know. And that's Divine. He said that after a year passed, because during November 17, I was able to book a ticket. So, he has his condition, and he on the plane, 16 hours to go. He flew from Texas. He ended up in Japan, layover in Japan, and he went over there to meet this woman, and it's amazing. This was him back then. I actually think he's pretty cool looking dude. I don't like people criticize guys. A lot of the men who are hating on him, they're hating because they hate you because they ain't you. They hate you because they ain't you. They hate you because they don't have what you have. This guy. Think about it carefully. This guy now has a nice house with a beautiful wife who absolutely adores him, cooks and cleans for him. He has money in the bank. He has a channel with almost 400,000 subscribers. Okay, he's an influencer, right? I mean, he's living his life. He's living his absolute best life. And and women, the thing is, like, when women see that, when other men see that you're coming up, and American women see that you're coming up, and they they're gonna try to pull you down. It's unfortunate. There's a saying in Mexico, and it doesn't just apply to Mexicans, it applies to Americans and people of many different cultures. The saying is basically that, the saying is that, if you have Mexicans that are trapped in a hole, they will never get. If you have a bunch of Mexicans that are trapped in a hole, they will never get out of that hole, because as soon as one Mexican tries to climb out of the hole, another Mexican will just pull him right back down in. Will just pull him right back in. So they'll never get out that hole, because they're always pulling each other back down. They're always putting each other down, and that's how it is with even Americans today. A lot of Americans put each other down. They don't want to see each other thrive. Women don't want to see American men thrive. And a lot of American men, they don't want to see American men thrive. They don't want to see each other thrive because they're all competing with each other. And they're all jealous of each other. And so when guys will look at a guy like this and they see that he's out there living his best life and succeeding, and they'll still call him names. They'll still say that he's this, he's that, and all kinds of other stuff, because they're jealous of him. They're absolutely jealous, and they don't have his bravery. They don't have the bravery that he has to go and take risk. And they'll blame everyone. They'll even blame God, but they won't blame themselves. They won't take accountability. Like, as a man, you can only blame women up to so much for your problems. And blaming them doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change anything. The lives of men, for a man, life is always going to be hard, bro. Like, men have always had difficult lives, but that's one of the reasons why we survive and why we thrive so much. The saying is, women are born rich and die poor, and men are born poor and die rich. And it's because of the trials and tribulations that we go through as men that ultimately shape us and allow us to to build value for ourselves. It's kind of like women are given everything up front. They're given all of the riches up front, and their value is in their sexual marketplace value. Is it within their sexual marketplace value? And they can take that value and they can use it to find themselves a good husband and to build value with a man, and then to create a life so that when they're older they have something, they have a family, they have a foundation. Because for a woman, her family is her foundation. The family is the foundation of for society. It always has been, and it or at least that's what it was. And and then and for a woman, a family is also her foundation. A Filipina, at the center of her life, the family is at the center of her life. That is at her core. That's the most important thing for her. That's the reason why, she's like, a lot of Filipinas will work to take care of her parents and to get her parents and her family out of poverty, because she knows she's nothing without her family. She knows that she's nothing without these people, you know. And unfortunately, that's something that doesn't exist, and it's something that's been sucked out of American society. And a lot of these women who don't have family, they're going to struggle going forward. They get everything up front. They get all their rewards up front, all their riches up front, and they use their marketplace value to run around with Chad, to run around with Tyrone, with Ray, with Pookie, to go through their 304 phase. And then when they're in their 30s and 40s, after they've burned through all their value, now they want to go find a good godly man to give them their bag. And that's just not going to happen anymore. That's just not going to happen anymore. And on the other hand, men have to go through things in life and develop themselves and build themselves. And the irony is that after men go through these things, then these women come along after they've lived these lives, and they want men to come and clean things up for them. And then the thing is, they don't even love these men. They just want these men to save them and rescue them from their situation. All right, so they can go right back to the streets while these men are out at work. You know, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane, and it's absolutely unfortunate. You see here, Power says, gotta take off. Thank you for the live stream, bro. Enjoying your channel and viewpoints, bro. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I hope to see you on the next live stream. Guys, let me know if you want me to do this. If this is something that you want me to do every night again. I'm planning every day again. Again, I'm planning to start doing regular live streams, do a regular live stream every day, and on top of that, do multiple throughout some days. Because I used to jump on different times throughout the day and do a live stream. So that's something I'm planning to do. But have a regular live stream that I do every evening at a certain time, and then also I'm gonna have like I said, I have a special co-host coming in that actually lives in the Philippines. Hopefully everything's going to work out with that still, and she can help to answer a lot of your questions. She knows she's a Filipina, so she's a Filipina, and she's a YouTuber. She has her own channel, so she can help to provide a lot of answers to questions that you guys might have when it comes to the culture and the rules, and and different things that only a Filipina can, our native Filipino can provide you with. So that's something to think about. Parabio, and that thing that I spoke about earlier, where where one person will just pull you back down, that whole example I gave you about Mexicans pulling each other back into the hole. He said, Parabiology actually said, what you're describing is known as the crab mentality. That makes so much sense. Crabs will literally pull each other back down when one tries to escape a bucket. That's so insane. That's absolutely messed up. And that really kind of tells you about that kind of really just tells you about how humans are, unfortunately. Humans, unfortunately. Humans, unfortunately, you know, they human beings can be kind of messed up. Human beings can be kind of messed up. The things that they should value, they don't properly value. And one thing, unfortunately, is that men don't value each other anymore. And human beings, like men and women, don't value each other as the way they used to. And it's sad. It's sad how society has degraded like this. She definitely is so pretty. It's like, can you imagine, this guy got this pretty girl, and look at the life that he's had. And for her, it was such a win. Like he has a friend. Like, he made a great friend, and now they're living a happy life together. And it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And you can see how far they've come. And she's changed over the years. Like she's only gotten more, only gotten prettier, only gotten prettier. I mean, that's just so awesome. That is so awesome. And I'm definitely happy for him. I'm definitely happy for him that this guy has been able to find so much happiness. He's been able to find someone who resonates with him, that values him for who he is as a person. And look at this. I like look at that, where they're cooking together. A very emotional morning, my flight back home. That's so sad. Like, but when you meet someone that really resonates with you, and that really cares about you, and that wants to be with you, it's incredible. You know, it's absolutely incredible. And that's what he's found. And it's like I said, in life there's risk and rewards. And you how can you expect to have a reward without a risk? And for a lot of women in Western society, they got their rewards, and now they got and rewards without risk. That's without having to give anything. That's privilege. So women got their special privileges, and now they're going to get their special punishments. As society degrades, like you make a deal with the devil, you're going to pay. And you have to understand the devil's been doing this for a very long time. For like millions of billions of years. Don't even think that, like, Earth is like the only place that the devil has been doing this. Like for the truth is that, especially with aliens out there, many of you all don't believe, but you have to really understand, with aliens out there and other worlds. If let's say other worlds are real, you think the devil isn't on other worlds? Of course. You think evil isn't on other worlds? So like, he's been doing this a very long time. He's been doing this for billions of years. Billions of years. The devil's been doing his thing for billions of years. And you think that they're not you think the devil's not going to connect? They're not going to collect on what's his? Like, they really think, like, a lot of these women, they really think they're gonna cheat the devil. Like, after they got their reward, then they're gonna try to avoid their punishment because they don't want to pay up on their contract. That's not gonna happen. All right, that's not gonna happen. They're trying everything and anything they can do to outrun the hellhounds. And the hellhounds are gonna collect on that contract. The hellhounds are coming in hot, and they're gonna get what's theirs. They're gonna collect on their contract. They're gonna get their bag. It's as simple as that. All right. They're gonna get what's theirs. All right. You know, like Satan, basically Satan honored his end of the contract. These women, they got what they asked for, and now Satan is gonna come and collect. That's it. That's really it. Let me see here. Let me read right here. Zanapal says, I heard it said, it's not enough to succeed in life. Your friends must fail. We need Jesus. It's terrible. Like, it's so much. Nobody's like, nobody, there's no unity. There's no kindness anymore. Everybody's like just trying to get their bag. Forget about that. Forget about that in Western society. Western society is a failed society. Western societies are failed societies. If you don't think that other countries are watching and seeing this stuff, and people, and they're realizing, yeah, we don't want to take these Western values because we don't want what has happened in Western society to happen in our societies, and we're not going to allow it. We're not going to allow it. So you have to absolutely realize that when it comes down to it, this is that other societies like Dubai, they're not going to allow this type of crap. They see what's happening, like places in South America. They're not going to let this kind of crap happen over there. You crazy? Are you crazy? You think they're going to let their societies get destroyed and become toxic and like Western society? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's really all it is. That's really all it is. Yeah, all it is, y'all. But anyway, guys, what do you think about this? We've been streaming for 3 hours now. I want to know your thoughts. Why password bros are hated by both men and women. I talked about the reasons, and I want to know your thoughts on this. I want to know your feelings on this. So let me know what you guys think regarding this, and we'll talk more about it in the comments, because that's it's really interesting seeing how things have changed so much around us over the years. But yeah, guys, it's crazy. If you stuck with me this entire time, then you guys are awesome. Hey everyone, I appreciate your support and feedback. If you want to show your gratitude, you can use the super thanks feature to tip me any amount you like. You'll also get a special comment that I can see and reply to. Or you can become a channel member using the join button and get exclusive perks like badges, emojis, live chats, and more. Your support helps me make more videos for you, so thank you and stay tuned for more. All right, guys, so let me know what you think in the comments. Why password bros are hated by both men and women. I want to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me on the live stream. And from wherever you're watching, again, guys, you are so awesome. And remember that you are the prize. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.